Yo, what's going on, baby? It's your boy Logan. I'm here with my amazing co-host.
It's your boy Brayden Noble.
Ooh, welcome to episode 19 of Actors POV.
POV, baby.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Look at us. Look at us. 19 in. Man, I'm really excited about this episode, dude. A Spider-Man episode. Me and Brayden.
About Spider-Man.
We love him. We love Spider-Man.
We love Spider-Man.
It's amazing.
He's the best superhero. We
It's
love
gonna be
him.
great, baby.
We are here.
We are here. So yeah, it's gonna be great, man. Spider-Man episode. We're gonna be doing, of course, talking about the new Spider-Man movie, Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, and then we're gonna be ranking all 150 of the Spider-Man films. So it's gonna be great. Very controversial. So just want to let you guys know, and we'll talk about it more once we get to it. This is our list, and if you don't agree with us, screw you. Sorry. My bad. I got a little angry.
You're lame, man.
No, but seriously, make sure you guys give us your ranking down below. Once we get to that, it'll be pretty fun to see your horrible takes as well, because we have horrible takes. So, yeah, gonna be interesting. But Mr. Bradley Noble, how are you, good sir? How's life treating you? Are you feeling good?
I'm feeling great, man.
Mm-hmm,
I am feeling. I'm on top of the world. It's the start of my hectic month, brother. You know what I mean? I just wrapped my little short film that I was in. In a week, less than a week from today, we're filming our short film, The Dark Room.
Ooh, listen, hey, go to the GoFundMe. Go ahead and support it. Link in the description below. Go support. We love you.
Support. Also, while we're at it, just go support the Patreon for updates.
Yes, sir. You already know what's up, baby. Yeah, man, a lot of fun stuff there. Movie reviews, live streams. It's going to be dope. I'm thinking about doing one soon, so we'll see how it goes, baby. But yeah, no, man, Brayden has a big month. I have a big month. It's going to be a lot, because even after we're done filming, which is going to be next, like, Thursday, we go right into editing right away. We're jumping right in. There's no, hey, let's just chill. We're going right into it, and then the acting classes. There's just a lot going on this month for both of us, and then all the press I'm going to be doing. A lot of stuff going on, man. It's a lot going on.
It's exciting.
Yes,
How are
sir.
you, my friend? You doing good?
Yeah, man. Thanks for asking, bro. Appreciate you.
Never asked.
Yeah.
How the dog doing?
We're doing good, brother. Yeah, no, it's going good. Just kind of living life, you know. I'm really anxious about next week. I'm a little scared. I'm a little nervous. And we're gonna have one more podcast episode before we start, because what we're gonna do, bro, is we're gonna film this episode. We need to film the next one probably like Friday, and get that thing out so I can just have it ready to be posted on Monday. And so we'll talk to you guys more about the movie on Friday, because we're gonna be reviewing The Boogeyman, because there's no movie coming out this week, and The Boogeyman came out last week, and everybody's saying they love it, and it was actually pretty solid. So we're definitely gonna go check that out. And we'll talk about the dark rooms after that, and I think we could the second segment we can even just dive deep into like what to expect, and you know what I mean.
Yeah,
I think that'd be fun.
Yeah,
that'd be dope. So yeah, we're definitely gonna hit that up, and that'd be a lot of fun. But no, I'm really anxious. I'm a little scared. You know, we have a pretty big cast and crew for a 9-minute short, and it's interesting, dude. I think it's gonna be a really fun outcome. We have some meetings we still got to do. Me and Brayden should probably have a big talk about the script one last time before we start it. And we feel so professional, man. Look at us, dude. It's crazy.
I hate my life. No,
no, it's a lot, man. It's crazy.
Important.
We got an Airbnb. It's wild stuff. So
it's all coming together too. Too easy.
Yeah,
that's what scares me.
Yeah,
it's going so smooth.
And like I told Brayden too, when you're creating a film, man, and you know, if you haven't been on a set, you don't know this, but if you have, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Nothing ever goes right when you're filming. There's always something that goes wrong with the cameras, maybe something wrong with the lighting, maybe you can't do an insert shot the certain way you want it to, maybe you can't have the actors lined up in a certain way. There's a lot of problems with it that can definitely go wrong, and you know, it's probably going to happen, and it's just going to, acting's all about adapting, and same thing with directing and writing and just being in the industry in general. It's all about adapting. Even if you're a singer, a dancer, there's going to be screw ups because it's live stuff. It's stuff that's happening now. So you got to
Yeah.
just learn how to adapt, man. And that's kind of what we're going to have to do. And it's going to be a learning process because this is our first film that we're doing and our first thing. But hopefully the first of many more to come, dude. It's been a fun process.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
it's been great, and I think you guys are gonna love it. Nothing short of awesome. That's all I'm promising. So
Yes, sir. Yeah, and we
it's
can
gonna be
even
awesome.
and like I said, man, once we have it out and it premieres at the festival, we need to do like a whole commentary and do a whole actors POV episode talking about the film process, how we came up with the idea and dive into. I think that'd be really cool for a actors POV episode. So
No, 100.
I don't
percent
know I don't know when the festival when does it show?
It shows August 1st.
It shows August 1st.
Yeah.
I thought we just had to get it in by August 1st.
Or yeah, it is. We did it. It is. You're right. You're
Yeah,
right.
I don't know
It's
when
like
it.
it shows maybe October,
Yeah,
September.
that's what I was probably thinking. Give him like a month. So it's gonna happen soon. So be ready for that, man. And there's not a lot of movies that come out around then. There's some like not every week at least like it is now. You know, now it's summer. We're gonna have a new movie every week, and it's been like that most of the time this year. But once we get to that point, there's a lot of empty slots that are still kind of available that we can make just a dark rooms episode. I think people are really gonna enjoy to get it
Hmm.
from the actors, writers, and directors POV.
Oh
So
yeah.
gonna be cool stuff, dude.
God, that's crazy. Yeah.
I'm hype. I'm hype.
Oh yeah.
But yeah. Oh, also TikTok. We're on TikTok. Actors POV TikTok, man. Go check it out.
Why wouldn't you?
Yeah. Why wouldn't you, dude? We do previews
Why
on there.
wouldn't you, bro?
We literally record ourselves walking into the movie theater, and we give our predictions on what we're what we expect, our expectations, and then whilst we're walking out, we either talk shit or we say we love it. So
Yeah.
go enjoy that.
Charlie Day.
Yeah. What?
Huh?
Sorry.
Huh?
Coughed up a furball.
It's a
But
joke. It's a joke, bro.
what do you mean by that? But no, man. I think that's it. Are
That's
you
it.
ready? Are you
I'm
freaking
ready.
ready?
Let's talk about a movie.
All right, Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, the movie most people have been waiting for a long time now. Maybe I have. We'll talk about it a little bit. We'll talk about it. But no, Mr. Bradley Noble over here has the synopsis, and he's gonna go ahead and read it for us, man. And yeah, let's just dive into it.
After reuniting with Gwen Stacy, Brooklyn's full-time friendly neighborhood Spider-Man is catapulted across the multiverse, where he encounters a team of spider people charged with protecting its very existence. However, when the heroes clash on how to handle a new threat, Miles finds himself pitted against the other spiders. He must soon redefine what it means to be a hero so he can save the people he loves the most.
I can't wait to dive into that. That's going to be an interesting topic. Woo! Yeah, that's going to be fun. Give it to him. Pop, pop, pop. It's going to be interesting. Yeah, Across the Spider-Verse. Me and Brayden watched it on Friday. We watched it on Friday.
Friday. Friday for sure.
Friday for sure. We watched it on Friday and at our movie theater again that we usually go to. Thank God, it was so awesome to be back there.
Oh, yeah.
It felt good, man.
It felt good to be back.
Yeah, I'm a big Spider-Man fan. Love Spider-Man. I know Brayden's the same way. And this movie, right from the get-go, it kind of throws you in, dude. I mean, I was very engaged throughout the entire thing. Neither one of us was falling asleep like the machine. And we were sitting there really, really enjoying it, man. I mean, yeah, Brayden, what'd you think about the beginning? How'd you feel like it kind of brought you in, man? It's very fast-paced with like the whole family dynamic and all that.
Yeah, it gave me this vibe that it definitely was like what I like about it is it was picking up right where it left off. That kind of vibe, like, you know what I mean? It almost felt like they just stitched right what happened before right there. But it was a perfect reintroduction back into the story. You know how like video games in the second one they have you have like a 30-second thing at the beginning that explains the game, like the game before you start this one, like the quarry or something, or like Until Dawn. Yeah, it felt like that very much. And it was just cool to be reintroduced to everybody and see it's kind of what's going on, how everyone's been feeling. And Yeah, it was pretty cool. I was definitely on the fence at first. You know what I mean?
Well,
I was
so
like,
it's funny you brought that up because like a lot of people remember like the whole stuff with like the mom and the dad in the beginning and like the whole family dynamic at like the party and when the dad
oh,
got introduced as the chief and everything or the
yeah,
sergeant or whatever. People were saying that they didn't like that aspect to it, but I thought it just made it more. It made Miles more likable. I thought. I
realistic.
thought it. Yeah, I
Yeah.
thought it added more to the character. People were saying, "Oh, I want to see action." No, I thought it was perfect. That was actually one of my favorite parts of the entire film was
Yeah.
the family dynamic between them. And I understand that like we saw a lot of that in Into the Spider-Verse, and maybe they wanted some kind of differential. That I don't know, but I thought it worked really well, and I thought it was
Well, they're
executed pretty
trying
well.
to, you can tell they're trying to like obviously go deeper with the characters now. Like there's more to expand on.
Yeah.
It wouldn't make sense because they didn't like, I mean, we know they're a good loving family from the first one. They had to make
Mm.
that pressure kind of with what they were pinning as the big idea at the end. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Sure.
it makes sense.
Yeah, no, it does. I thought it was executed really well. One thing I liked about the very beginning, which we kind of just barely caught, was the
Oh
whole
yeah.
Gwen thing. And they stayed in the
Yeah, man.
Gwen atmosphere for quite a bit, and it was
Yes.
one thing I loved about it too. And I want to hear your opinion on this: the different like animation they did. It was like a like watercolor type thing. You know what I
Like
mean?
a
Like it was like a
pastel
painting
thing.
pastel thing, like a painting almost.
Yeah.
And then her universe, which I thought was so freaking cool, dude. I thought it
Yeah.
was really cool. And you could see it like melting. I don't know if you saw that too. You would see like the
Oh
like just
no.
like the colors melt in the background and stuff. And I was like, it just added so much more to it. I really like that.
Oh my God, dude. Just to say the visuals, man. That the
Yeah.
visuals made me feel like, you were in it for a trip, buddy.
No, it
You
was
know what I
dope.
mean? Some psychedelic stuff
No,
going
it,
on.
it was clean, especially
I
that
actually, you know
universe.
what? I do know what you mean because that's what I was gonna say. Like, there's certain points where like the colors would just start floating and everything's floating, and then they would
Yeah.
start melting together and blending,
Yeah.
and you're just like, ah.
No, it was clean, dude. I know. I felt like they were just like mushrooms or some shit. Like you were just sitting there
Yeah.
just enjoying it, and it was executed just beautifully, man.
Yeah.
Um, and it wasn't distracting either, right?
Mhm.
It wasn't like you weren't taken out of it, but you were really engaged throughout the entire thing, and I thought that was really well done when it came to the visuals for sure.
Yeah.
They didn't lack that, and that's something that a lot of people were like, "Oh, how do you top into the Spider Verse and those visuals?" They did it. They did. I
100%.
thought they were even better in this one.
And this is a comment I need to make, and I think you even agreed with me. Like, I was not, I wasn't super excited. It's weird for me. In the first in the Spider Verse, I never like crazed over it like everyone did, and I think a lot of it was the visuals. Like, I thought they were obviously really cool, but like it just wasn't my vibe. But for some reason, this movie was able to make me like vibe with it more. I don't know. It
Yeah.
felt even more comic book style than the last one did for some reason.
Mm,
I don't know. It was just a different vibe to it, different tone, and I really liked it in this movie.
I
They
feel
topped
that.
it. Everyone's been saying it too,
Yeah. No, I really enjoyed it. I thought I really liked that, and one thing that I really enjoyed, it's almost felt like the animation version of No Way Home. That's pretty much what it was. And
Yeah,
I
man.
don't know what the conversation was between Sony and the MCU when it came to that. I've obviously No Way Home was in development for way longer than this one, but I'm just saying like it's basically the same exact thing if you think about it. Messing with timelines, talking about how one little thing can drastically change everything else. Like in the when they went to the India world with that, you know what I mean? And dove into that universe and he saves the dad or whatever. And then it just changes the entire thing. And they're like, no,
Yeah, the
why'd you
aspect.
save him? Yeah, you can't do that. You just changed up the entire thing. And I thought that was really cool that they kind of dove into that because the timeline and the multiverse stuff has always interested me. And I'm like I hate when a movie just really relies on like the typical oh look, you got multiple versions of yourself. What I like is when they really dive into the more like scientific aspect of it, which is why I think I like Everything Everywhere All at Once a lot. I think they did probably the
Yeah.
best out of anybody I've ever seen. But they dive more into the scientific part of it. Not like the nerdy scientific part, but like the scientific part where you can. It's really interesting stuff and you're really engaged. And I really like that aspect too when it came to the whole multiverse thing.
No, 100%.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, they brought. I don't want to call it a cash cow because this movie was obviously a lot better than a cash cow. But like, dude, they pulled all the things they could. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And as we talk, spoiler. Um, they pulled Toby, they pulled Andrew. They start like, you have Andy Samberg as the one Spider-Man with the blue hoodie. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
They were just they brought in a lot of these big actors to play the more iconic version of Spider-Man. I even saw the one where he had the claws on his back, or like like the
The
whole
Iron
spider,
Spider.
like the
Yeah.
Iron Spider.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, dude, everybody was in it. You know what I mean? And there was versions of Spider-Man I've never even seen, and
Yeah.
I thought it was super awesome and super unique. My only thing is what I really loved, because this is what I didn't like, but at least they did it for the main characters. Because I don't know if all of those extra Spider-Men are actual spider people that
Mhm.
were actually ever introduced. Where I was kind of like, okay, that's a little extra. But like with our main cast, I loved when they put their comic book on the screen, like Spider Punks
Yeah.
and
That
Spider,
was
because then
clean.
I was like, okay, like this is credible, like
Yeah.
this is realistic, this makes sense.
Mhm. Mhm.
And it was I really enjoyed how they did. That's like the interesting science stuff. That's not
Yeah.
really scientific, but that intrigues me. I'm
Right.
like, oh
Right. Right.
shoot, they
No,
actually
it
put their comic.
and you're speaking about different characters and different versions of Spider-Man. I mean, I know you want to talk about him. One guy that jumped out at me, of course, and that was supposed to jump out at you is the 2099. I mean,
Mhm.
Oscar Isaac, dude, incredible job.
I don't know if
I
you
didn't even know it was
saw
him.
three. This is his third Marvel movie or third Marvel role, because he has Moon Knight. I don't know the other one. I don't know what movie it's from, but it's like the Emperor or something. Or I
There's
saw
another
this thing
one.
on. Yeah, I saw it on Instagram. He's the first actor to play more than two Marvel roles.
Was he in like Daredevil or something, like one of the early 2000s Marvel movies?
No, hold up.
No, he
I'll
wasn't
look it
in
up.
Daredevil. What was he in?
Yeah, but no, yeah. You speak on Miguel, and I will look
Yeah.
at this.
Yeah, no, yeah, Miguel. No, dude, I love that character to death. And one thing that we're going to talk about in a little bit is the
He was an
whole
X-Men
argument.
Apocalypse.
X-Men Apocalypse. Okay, okay, yeah,
He was
yeah.
Apocalypse.
Yep. I don't know. I just X-Men went right outside of my head. I just wasn't thinking about that. I never think of
To be
X-Men when people
honest,
bring up Marvel.
yeah, I didn't.
I don't
I
know
didn't
why.
either.
I don't put two and two together.
That's why I
Um,
didn't really recognize the
yeah,
character, I guess.
it's almost like I see DC, Marvel, and X-Men. Like it's just, I don't know. It's really trippy to me. But no, and we can get into the whole debacle with his character and him becoming the
Yeah,
villain, and I hated how they did that, because I thought 2099 was super menacing, but like um but really well done at the same time. And another guy that I really enjoyed was Spot as the villain.
loved them. Because they
Dude,
were like a tag team combo in the
yes they
ways of
were.
like how I described it. It's like, and I agree with you. I hate that, like, but I love that they did it at the same time, made Miguel a bad guy. Like, I didn't like
Yeah,
that they did it, but like, it makes sense because he's really like, he's not a bad guy. He's just a good guy that's had bad things happen to him. So he's
yeah,
like, where Spot has bad intentions. He has the same thing, but he's actually trying to like, whereas he just has a really cool power, he could use that for good, but he's choosing to
right,
be evil with it. At
right,
least Spider 99, he's more faced with all of the trauma and PTSD that he's gone through.
yeah.
So he's like he's menacing, obviously, and he's got that flair to him. But at the end of the day, he does try to do the right thing,
He's trying
but
to keep the multiverse intact.
intact.
Yeah.
Exactly.
No,
Yeah,
for sure. Yeah, but like, and that's the cool thing about Spot is he started. Dude, I like Spot
I
is
love
one of my
Spot.
favorite
I was like,
Spider-Man
where
villains
did
of
this
all
guy
time.
come from?
Yeah, no, he's a big villain. And
Apparently, yeah, I saw some Instagram stuff about him.
yeah, no, Spot's actually all him and Spot, Chameleon, and Doc Ock have always been like my three favorites. And
Really?
to see Spot come to life, we need to see the Chameleon, bro. We really need to see the Chameleon. But
Hmm.
Spot was really cool, and just like his character was so goofy in the beginning, but it was like a funny goofy. Like a lot of times, like these like kids animated movies, especially into like these Spider-Man films in particular, the animated ones can be like that stupid kid comedy. We've talked about that a lot. You know what I mean? We were kind of like, oh, whatever. It's like a stupid kid's joke, but
Yeah.
but he was so stupid, but it worked so well with the character, and it's not really too similar to the Spot in the comics, but it worked perfectly for this film and for this entry. I thought it was hilarious, and how he
You
got
know what I
more
love though?
aggressive.
That's what I like.
Yeah,
There's a moment because a lot of them they do that silly comedy like through the whole movie. If he was kind of like, "Oh, why can't you catch me? You thought you could leave in the middle of our fight?" The whole time I'd be like, there was a shift when like the whole debacle came about. You said I wasn't a worthy supervillain.
yeah,
And then like he actually like Spot's character, and you can even tell in the voice actor, he was pissed throughout the movie, he went from that like joking guy. He's like, he's pissed. Like you thought I was nobody. I'm gonna show you who I am.
Yeah.
And I really love that because, like I said, I feel like movies tend to keep to that. By the end of the movie, he's still laughing in their face, and he's like, "Aha, you'll need me forever." And
Yeah.
but now, like this guy's like, "Screw you, dude! Like, what the fuck? Like, I made you, bitch."
That's what I'm saying. No, it was perfect, dude. I thought that character development was great. Like you said, he is because he was almost new. He was almost new to his powers, and nobody would take him seriously. And he's like, "I bet, bro, I got you." When I learn my stuff.
And it's weird because he's a villain, but he almost feels like a hero to himself in a way. You know what I mean? Like he's all he's got.
He's just likable.
He's like he's trying to prove himself.
Very likable guy.
Yeah, even though it is a bad thing, what he's trying to do. But
right. No, I was actually cheering for him to steal the ATM. I'm not gonna lie. I was hoping he'd get it through the dot. Yeah, he's like sitting on it, bro, trying to get it through.
Yeah, right.
And then the fights.
$200.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like I don't know, man. When I watch this movie again, I don't know when I'm gonna watch it again. But when I watch it again, he's gonna be my favorite part of the film. Like one of the most entertaining Spider-Man villains, and this is a big statement, but he's probably maybe top 5 for me out of all these villains we've seen. Like really, because and maybe that's just because like it's what stood out to me in this film, and maybe the other ones have more to offer, the more live action ones, with everything else, and that's kind of I don't know, that's kind of a big statement too, but. We'll get into that with our Spider-Man ranking, so be ready for that at the end of this episode. But I don't know what it is, man. He was a standout. He really stood out against the rest of this film, and I really enjoyed that.
So I was gonna say I'd have to think about that, but that's not like I would never be like, "Yo, what the fuck?" You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That wasn't a bad take. So
yeah.
I don't know. I'd have to think about that. It's not a bad take. Though.
Definitely top 10.
Definitely top 10.
Top 5 though. Well,
I was gonna say top 5. If not top 5, top 7. So like that's why I'm like it's definitely possible
for sure. But yeah, dude. No, I really enjoyed him, and then of course we could talk about you. I didn't give you the chance to talk about 2099.
Miguel. Yeah, man. I really, you know what I mean. I was saying, I love how he is a villain, but he's not. He's a villain to himself because he is trying to. He won't let everyone help him. He's like. He says he's the only one trying to keep it intact, but that's like the mentality of like a overworking boss who just hates everything. Like everyone else is happy. Nobody else is they're kind of carefree, even though this all serious. He's the only one that can't joke around. And I mean, you do need somebody to hold it in place and stuff. But I think that's where like a lot of that anger and stuff derives from Miguel's character. The only thing that I just really didn't like about it, and this is not a big thing, but I know you and me talked about it a little bit, like Miles was just able to box with him, and I was just kind of like, this guy's real. Like that's almost saying like if him and Spider-Man were to fight, like he's mopping Spider-Man right off the jump. I think Miles is great, but like, dude, give him like 5 more years and then have that fight and then have it go that way. But like, Miguel would have probably ate his shit. No, not to be like that.
No, probably he definitely would have.
And he would have turned Buddy into a vampire, blood sucking. Like,
pause. No, 100%. I mean, it's crazy. That's a point that Brayden brought up because I was like, I really like Into the Spider-Verse. Don't get me wrong, but there's just something that's like not as intriguing as like Peter Parker, and I think it's because Miles Morales can do this shock stuff and he can become invisible, and it's like, and Brayden was saying it takes away from the realism, I guess. And I know we're seeing a guy gets bit by a spider and he can shoot webs and stuff. I understand it's not the most realistic thing in the world, but it almost becomes too overwhelming, and you're sitting there like, sometimes simple is better.
Yes.
Sometimes simple is better.
He literally mentions in the movie, he's like, how are you going to say that? I can electrocute. I can be invisible. And it's just like, that's not Spider-Man. Mm-hmm. And that's for me, like, these are the fans. Everyone can be like, Brad, what are you saying, dude? Don't do this. I'm a Peter Parker guy. I've told Logan, I think if they were to make Miles, they should have made him a different character. I understand he's Spider-Man, but he's just not Spider-Man. You know what I mean? And I just don't like to think it's not the fact that he can't be strong, but like he's only in like year 2, maybe. You know what I mean? How is he being veterans, the leader of the entire Spider organization?
Oh, yeah. There's a lot we can dive into with that. But I think like the best example of them not having to give him all these powers is Batman and Robin.
Oh, yeah.
They work great. That's what it is. That's
tag
exactly
team
what
right
it
there.
is.
That's how the game's gonna play.
I mean, hey man, they did it. And I understand. And listen, bro, the the route they're wanting to take with the MCU is to make Spider-Man mentor Miles Morales. They're rushing this way too quickly. And we'll get into the new movie they announced and all that later in the acting news. But it's like, you just relax, man. Let Spider-Man have his time, and then when he's a little older, maybe in his 30s, just like the first Into the Spider-Verse, it was executed perfectly. He's an old Spider-Man. He's an old Peter Parker. You know what I mean? Played by
you know what I mean?
played by Jake Johnson, right? And is it
Yeah.
Jake Johnson? Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Jake Johnson, and he's hilarious, by the way, dude. New girl, great stuff.
Yeah.
But no, like that was exactly what I want to see, and I don't know. I feel like we're too early. It's too early to pass a torch like this in a lot of these different ways. But
Hasn't even gone to college, bro.
yeah, and he's in what, middle school, right? Or like freshman year of high school or something. It's like, dude, just chill out.
Oh yeah. I get what you're saying.
Like, come on,
Freaking,
man.
Miles, yeah.
Miles, yeah. So it's like
He's
just
younger than us.
I know, like, he's super. Like, cause think about it. I think Tom Holland's Peter Parker. Did they graduate yet? I think they did. They're like junior or senior in high school or whatever. And now you got this kid. I don't know. It feels really off to me in that sense. And I was gonna say something else too, and it went right over me. Yeah, I don't know.
It went right over me.
Right over me, man. Damn.
Yeah, man. But I
Oh.
really loved all the characters in this movie.
Yeah. No. What I was gonna say is, it's like, yeah, he shouldn't be keeping up fighting with 2099 and
Oh, yeah.
Peter and stuff. That's a joke. I'm sorry. There's no way. I understand he's
You're too,
learning, he's
dude. Come
growing.
on.
He has great potential. He can be better than Spider-Man one day. We're not saying that, but it's like
Right now,
Robin beating Batman. It's like, what are we doing, dude? Not even Nightwing. We're talking Robin.
I thank you. That's the
Come
perfect
on.
way to say it. It's like
It's-
Robin beating Batman. Not even Nightwing, dude. Come
It's
on.
a joke.
It's a joke. It's a fucking joke.
But
Sorry,
but
sorry.
we still love the character. We still
Yeah.
love what they did. The one thing that I really wanted to talk about was the whole way that they made 2099 the bad guy. And that was my biggest problem with this film. So throughout this entire movie, they leave the audience, they leave everything up for interpretation, right? There's this big political opinion, not like actual politics, but you know what I mean, like an political
Between
argument
the
where
spider
right.
community.
Yes, where it's kind of Miles Morales versus everybody else. Kind of. There's some other people that kind of agree with them, but I would say it's probably like 80-20 in support of 2099 and then 20% in support of Miles, if that.
The rebel group.
Yeah, the rebel group. And which that some of those people made no sense at all. But
well, I'm glad they brought some of the people back from the first one though.
that was executed well. I like that.
That was really cool.
Seeing all them come back together, a little like pig guy, and it was pretty cool.
Spider Pig. I was like,
Yeah,
no way.
Spider Pig does whatever a spider pig can. That's from The Simpsons. Remember? Puts him on the ceiling and lets him crawl. Remember that?
Yeah,
It's
man.
classic, bro. Such a good movie. Anyway, but no, like, so when they get in that big argument where they're going like back and forth on it, they were doing so good with leaving everything up for interpretation until that moment where they just made 2099 the villain. And it's like,
I agree.
What are we doing? And I was telling Brayden this walking out. I was like, dude, this movie was doing so good with just letting the audience come up with their own opinion. And they're like, oh no, sorry, you got to be on Miles' side with this. And I'm not saying, and we'll get into what side we're both on because we're both on very different sides. But you gotta let the audience come up with their ideas because that's what makes them more engaged. And they kind of rip that away.
I really don't know if we're on different sides because, like, truly, I don't feel like, for me, I don't feel like Miguel, if you look at it the right way, he doesn't look like a bad guy.
Let's talk about what it was, though.
Yeah.
You can explain that.
So basically, the whole idea of this movie is they introduce the anomalies. So it's heavily, like you said, it's like No Way Home, just cartoon. So all the people from the different universes end up in this Spider-Verse. So what they do is they put them in the tanks until they're ready to ship them back. The reason Miles was never invited to the spider community is because technically he is an anomaly. He was the first. Because of a spider that Spot made was sent into Miles' universe, there was never a Spider-Man in his universe. Therefore, Peter Parker just stayed the same. and Miles Morales ended up becoming Spider-Man. So he's really not the Spider-Man that was supposed to go along. And there's a whole spider tree, you know what I mean? The tree, what do they call it in real life? The timeline. They have a timeline.
Yeah.
And basically, um, just shifting one thing as Uncle Ben dying or the chief of police dying, that shifts the entire timeline that could eradicate the entire universe of Spider-Man. And what you come to find out is Miles' father gets raised to the chief of police, and they tell him in 2 days, that's when your dad's supposed to die. Miles reacts and he's like, yo, that's not cool. I got to try to save him. Where Miguel is like, dude, we can't let you go. Like, you do that, we all go. That's not happening, bro. So this is where it's like, this is what I was talking about a little earlier. That was a little stupid. How did Miles escape? Like, let's be honest. He escaped like 20,000 Spider-Men.
Yeah, my biggest problem with that is the fact that the main lady that's operating the entire timeline thing where she sends people is on Miles' side. Makes zero sense. I'm sorry. Even if she agreed with Miles. Even if she heard,
but where was she for the speech?
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, right. Where was she for the speech?
Where's the plane? No,
where's the plane?
No, that's what was really mind-blowing me. Even if she was on Miles' side, she is 2099's right-hand man when it comes to the multiverse stuff and timelines. She would not betray him like that. I'm sorry, dude. There's no way. I understand this is a kid's movie. I get it, but it's just so ridiculous, dude. Mm-hmm. And once again, it was going so well up until this point, and I was so engaged. And then like the last 20 minutes of this movie, I was just lost. I don't know about you. I was so confused. I didn't know why. Like, I knew what was happening, but I was just like, what are we doing? Like, this is like almost feels like it was a little bit of part 2 kind of soaked its way in.
I think that's what it is. Perfect. You said that. I was going to say, this is the problem that they did. They needed to just end it right when he teleported back. Why did we have to like, or the moment he realized he wasn't in his universe, that's when it should have ended. Like, we didn't need to be introduced and then see what's happening in everyone else's universe and them coming together. It felt like they had a perfect ending and then they forced a cliffhanger. You know what I mean?
I'm with you.
It kind of felt a little pointless.
Yeah, it's just a way to get more people into the seats in next May. That's what it is. They just wanted to get more people in the seats, and I respect it, but at the same time, like Brayden, like, I don't know, it just, even a little before that, when everything started going down, it felt like I was like, dude, I feel like I'm watching like a totally different movie, and and I don't know, like, and I understand both sides 100%, but like I said, Miles he acted so emotionally when he has 2 full days to save his dad. That's what I didn't get. Like, you got plenty of time, dude. Just relax, take a deep breath, talk with 2099, think about the pros and cons before you do this.
I gotcha. I just gotta hit the bathroom real quick, and he would have just walked out.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Escape that way.
Right? Yeah. Not me. And I once again, he's a young kid. I get it, but it's like, come on, man. And even Peter would have probably had a conversation and really talked it through. Someone that has more experience, and I think that's actually, and maybe that's part of Miles' character. He's a young kid that acts emotionally, and maybe that's part of his big, character development that they're going to be. And maybe part 2 will make this movie better. I don't know. That's a possibility.
Well, I was going to say 2 things. One, I really like the, where Spider-Man, like the walkie-talkie goes off there, like, thank you, Peter. Thank you for his location. We're coming now. And he was like, Miles, I swear to God, I didn't mean to do that. I truly don't think he meant to do that. Like, I don't think, you know what I mean? That's kind of like one of those things that's left up to interpretation. And in the moment I was kind of watching, I was like, damn, did he really do that? But like, honestly, with seeing their relationship and how sincere Peter felt, I really don't think he meant to do that. And I thought that was a cool moment. They didn't need to add that, you know what I mean? But like, that was kind of like that literal Miles trusted him. He escaped everybody, and he could have like just said, stop, swatted him and get out. But he was like, I trust this guy. It's okay. Mm-hmm. I feel a little safe. Even though he's still trying to escape, he's like letting him join him. And then the moment that happened, he like, boom, cut off. Like, we're done. Don't ever talk to me again.
Yeah.
And then dipped. So I thought that was really cool. It was just a moment that like, that's a little like the small things. You know what I mean?
Oh, speaking of that, the little baby, Peter's kid is the cutest thing in the world. Yeah. That's in the comics as well.
Is it really?
Yeah, they put the little mask over. I remember seeing that. It's so cool, dude. Like, no, that little
That's so
baby was so
funny.
cute. Like when it like hangs down from the ceiling because he gave her a little web shooter. It's
Hmm.
funny, dude. No, I that was another really good moment too, man. And there's good stuff like that in this film that I really enjoyed. I mean, there's just not a lot of cons or negatives about this film overall. It's just a
Yeah.
fun time, and it's just one of those movies you sit back and just enjoy for what it is. And what I love about it, it's a movie that's going to spark conversation. What side are you on? You
Yeah.
know? And I lean more toward 2099 because he was acting more rationally and maybe he should have calmed Miles down a little bit more. But that's another thing. How is he escaping 400 Spider-Man? I'm sorry, but like that's
Well,
what
you
that's
know what I was
that's the
gonna
thing that got me,
say.
bro. Come on.
I realize now what they're like the Miles thing that you're saying is like young and irrational. You know what he really reminds me of? Like No Way Home, Peter, like Tom Holland. Like he's like everyone's like, dude, you can't save everybody. You can't save everybody. He's like, I
Yeah.
can't. I know I can, even though he's fucking everything up. He's just got that like they're really like I think maybe that's why they're trying to introduce him into maybe that universe.
Mm-hmm.
They're really trying to force that ideology like I'm the Spider-Man who can. You know what I mean? I'm
Sure.
the Spider-Man who will defy the odds.
Yeah.
Whereas, like, you know my take on it. I really don't think Miguel is a bad guy. And I truly like I love the line at the end where he was like, we are the good guys. We aren't like you know what I mean? We
Mm-hmm.
are the good guys when Miles escaped.
Yep.
Because it's that situation, like when you look at it and from his shoes, he's probably sitting there and he's worked so hard over these last how many years. He's been fucked over so much, and then he just that it escaped.
Yep.
Now everything he's worked for could get destroyed, and then he's like he probably knows he acted irrationally 100%, but
Mm.
like he's upset. So then he was like, we are the
Yeah.
good guys. Like, even though he doesn't look like one, he wants to be one.
Yeah.
And that's where it's like, that's why I was trying to like, I'm like a middle ground because I totally understand why Miles tried to dip. Like I said, he could have totally acted more
I
rational.
I understand too. Yeah.
But like, man, like I feel for Miguel, dude. Like, and I think that's why they did this to him because in the second movie, I think he's going to be like one of the main, like how Peter Parker was in the first one. I think he's going to be one of the main characters, and they're going to like really push for him to have that like character arc.
Oh, I can't wait for that. And I
Maybe
swear,
sacrifices himself or something.
and that was my. Oh, I can definitely see that. And that's my. Mark it down. Mark it down.
June 5th.
That's my biggest problem, dude. It's like, I don't know. You made him a villain, and
Maybe give an extra scene at the end.
yeah, and maybe that was my biggest problem with it. Maybe it wasn't the whole Miles Morales acting irrationally. Maybe it was because they made 2099 such a bad guy.
Looked like a
It's
jerk,
like,
yeah.
stop, just relax, dude. I don't know. Maybe if like
Maybe
I
another
said,
scene of him like in like a simulation with his daughter. Then it would have been like, damn,
I
like
don't
that's why
know.
he's so mad.
I don't know. Do
something.
something. Give us some chum,
Some
bro.
some chum, baby. Where's
But
the
no,
freaking chum?
it's just I didn't like that at all, man. I thought the movie was really really good up to that point. That's probably my only really con with it is the way that they treated 2099, and then the other one would be the Miles Morales superpower thing is kind of ridiculous, but
Yeah.
that's just me.
Hey
That's
man,
just me.
I'm in cahoots with you there. I
Yeah.
think that's always been my thing with Miles Morales. I just don't like how he seems a little overpowered. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like
Yeah.
Spider-Man's already a freaking overpowered beast, and then you just have to add. I guess it's not abnormal when you look at Miguel. He's like a vampire, but I don't know. When I sit here and think like, I don't know. Just for how we were talking heavily. It's year 2, year
Mhm.
3. He hasn't been doing this long.
Yeah.
I just feel like it doesn't. He wouldn't have been able to do all that yet.
Nope.
You know what I mean? He's just
Nope.
figuring out how to use the electricity.
Yeah.
But it was still awesome. Good, cool to see.
Yeah. No, I enjoyed it. It was cool. Really fun film. Brayden, is there any other points you want to hit? Oh, the whole thing with Childish Gambino, dude.
Oh yeah,
Was so dope. So
Yeah.
he plays Miles's uncle.
Mhm.
What's his name? Is it Aaron?
Uncle Aaron.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Uncle.
the
It's
Prowler.
Aaron. Something. So basically, he plays the Prowler. And I remember watching Spider-Man: Homecoming, and when Spider-Man runs into the guy and he's getting the groceries out of his car or whatever, he, like web shoots him. And he's like, yeah, I remember his name was Aaron or whatever. He's like, yeah, I got a little nephew at home. And I was like, everybody was like, oh my God, that's Miles Morales. And I'm like, hell yeah, that is. Let's go, baby. And then he's in this film playing the same guy.
That's
So
the Prowler this time in the costume.
right, in the actual Prowler costume. So How that timeline matches up with Homecoming, dude, I have zero idea. I don't know how they're going to tie that into it. They're making a Miles Morales, spoiler alert for the acting news in a second, the next segment. They're doing a Miles Morales Sony movie, which, what? That's not even MCU. I don't know what the, I don't know anymore, dude. So we're going to have 3 different Mileses now.
I hate that.
I don't know, bro.
I don't like it, man.
So
I don't
weird.
like when they do that.
But
it's so weird.
My
Why
point
would you do that?
My point though is maybe they're gonna tie it all together because it's a multiverse thing, and if Childish Gambino is, I don't know.
I would really like, because it'd be really cool for me. You know how we saw the Toby and Andrew cameos as well?
Yeah.
It'd be cool to say that all this happened recently because of like the No Way Home events, and that's why the anomalies started showing up extra in the world.
Yeah.
You know, that'd be like a cool like little detail, but I don't know how well, like you said, that would play in. It'd have to be.
You have to some great writing. You got to really explain this, and with the big dispute that Sony and Marvel had and the whole thing going on, like it really would surprise me if they actually are working together. I don't see that at all. I feel like they're just all doing their own thing, and maybe they are working together, and that would be the greatest like mashup of all time, for sure. It's here, the fight you've all been waiting for. Yeah, it was like I was like, oh, whatever. You know, I don't know. It's gonna be. I don't even know what to say to it. It's gonna have to watch it and see. I guess
we'll see.
We'll see, baby. But no, let's do our rating for the film, man. Ready to make all you guys mad? Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Did you go first last time? I think you did.
Did I?
I think you did. Yeah. Did I?
Oh, dude, I freaking love you for that, dude. One of my favorite childhood animated movies.
So good.
Did I?
I don't know what to rate this on. Are we rating it on an animation scale? Are we rating it on I feel like we got to rate it on Spider-Man movie scale.
We got to.
This is based off entertainment, by the way, not like how is it the best made Spider-Man movie ever, because it probably is. This is based off not animation, entertainment. I'm gonna go a solid 8.8.
Wow.
Yeah.
That shocked me.
Really? What were you expecting?
It shocked me. Somewhere in the 9s.
Oh. I don't know. Well, I was looking at my list, and I was like, my ranking that we got kind of written out, and I was like, I don't know, man. I can't go too high. So I'm going to go 8.8.
I'm going to give it a good 9.3.
I like that. If they would have made this ending better, this would probably be a 9.5 for me. But now...
Took you out in the last 20 minutes.
Yeah, it did. I was so confused, and at points I was
guys,
not.
I'm imagining it. I was there. I was there watching him. He was like,
I was like, what? Huh? What are you doing?
What's going on?
What's going on?
Freaking!
Oh yeah, the kid next to us coughing in my face and jumping over the railing the entire film.
Yeah, bro. Some kid was running down the stairs and went, bro, he's fucking walking. Leave him alone. Like
what? Oh yeah.
He was just trying to get down the stairs. There was a woman shushed him. He like stopped and looked at her. He was like,
I don't know that kid. He kind of ran down the stairs, bro. He was tripping for sure. I don't know what he was doing.
Boy,
my boy had some problems.
Big boy.
He needs those moon shoes, bro, from the 80s.
Moon shoes, maybe.
Yes, yeah, or 90s. I don't know, around there. But yeah, 8.8, 9.3. Solid ranking, baby. This is like we're kind of drifting apart. Let's bring it in.
Hey, man, where are you going?
I don't know, bro. That was definitely me. I definitely brought it down a little bit. The first thing that came to my mind was 8.6, and I was like, that's a little low. Wow. I was like, I gotta go 8.8. Not 9. I gotta watch it again. Like I said, it's one of those movies. It's a two-parter. I hate two-parter movies.
Happened. Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like it's like watching Deathly Hallows Part 1, and then being like, okay.
Where's the second?
Where's the second one now? You know.
Yeah.
And I feel like the second one makes the first one better. So,
yeah.
I gotta watch these movies again, dude. But yeah, there you go. That's going to be our review for Across the Spider-Verse. Yes, sir. Y'all let us
Yes,
know what you thought of
sir.
the movie, man. Let us know your pros, your cons. If you agree with us, your rating out of 1 out of 10. And you guys can flame me for only giving it an 8.8. And we'll go from there. I got my boy over here doing the Triple H. It's Triple H, isn't it?
Motherfucking Jeff Hardy, baby.
Jeff Hardy. Oh, God, that's embarrassing. I messed that up. It's the Hardy Bros.
Man.
But yeah, no. Appreciate all y'all watching on YouTube, man. Go ahead and subscribe. Get ready for some more new content coming out. I love y'all, man. See you soon.
We love you.
Ooh, get a video like. All right. Yes, sir. Acting news, baby. You know what's up. You know what's popping. What's popping, baby.
Brand new whip we just hopped in. What can I say?
I got options.
That you're welcome.
I can pass that baby like stock.
Oh.
Just
I'm
Josh.
just joshing.
I'm going to spend this holiday locked in. My body got rid of them toxins.
Oh.
Nope. That's it. I messed it up, dude. What is it? Hold on. What is it? Stockton.
Oh no, I just don't know.
I know. Yeah, we'll keep moving on. I don't know. I screwed that up.
No, I would have screwed it up too.
Ah, damn, man. Haven't heard that song in a long time. Acting news. We're getting a Sony Miles Morales movie that we were just talking about.
What?
Terrible idea.
Fett?
Don't get it. Makes no sense. I think it's a horrible idea, and we don't. What are we doing? Also, it's Sony.
You know,
Sony
really
Spider-Man movies have not been the best.
Yeah, like they could what if he started in the other person's universe and he was like, "I'm meant to be in the other universe. This is in my home."
I expect that. Now, Sony is doing the Kraven the Hunter movie this November. I'm high. Bring it to me.
Who's playing Kraven again? I thought it wasn't a pretty big name, right?
Yeah. Let me look it up, man. I auditioned for this to play young Kraven, I think, and I'm mad I didn't get it.
Really?
I'm mad. Yeah. I would have. Chris Kraven Hunter, dude, so dope. One of my favorite villains for Spider-Man for sure.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm Kraven. It was me. I stole the role from
you, little bitch. Kraven the Hunter. Aaron Taylor Johnson, dude.
Wow. Now
we got Russell Crowe in there.
Who's the little bitch that got the role?
No way. He stole it. This kid.
No freaking way. Let's see him.
No, he's a really popular kid, actually. I think. No, did he? Is this the role I played? I think it is. Hold on. Let me see what he's been in.
Sorry, everybody. Everyone in pod's just like sitting here. They're like,
yeah, I'm sorry, guys. Yeah. It's his name's Fred Heckinger. He's been in a crap ton. You guys will know if you've seen him. But yeah. So there you go, Kraven Hunter. That's gonna be cool. Cannot wait
for that.
That
makes me cry. It should have been Logan Allen. I'm crying right now.
Okay, man. It is what it is. It is what it is. Sweet Magnolia season 3, July 20th. Dude, this one's actually really cool, bro. John Cena and Jackie Chan in Hidden Strike. It's gonna be an action movie coming out, dude. John Cena and Jackie Chan, bro.
Yeah,
that is dope. I watched the trailer for it. Looks awesome. It's like it's almost like a Rush Hour type thing.
No, I know. That's what I was gonna say. It looks a lot like Rush Hour.
Yeah, just not as funny because Rush Hour is incredible.
Rush Hour is incredible. So I'm surprised we should have mentioned that on the comedy list.
They're making another one.
I saw.
I'm ready.
Remakes.
So ready. That you can remake that any day though. I'll take it.
True.
Not remake it, but you know what I mean. Bring the people back. Halle Berry, James Marsden, and Famke Janssen are coming back as Storm, Cyclops, and Jean Grey in Deadpool 3. They played the OG X-Men.
Why your voices
in my head. So yeah, it's gonna be interesting. That's cool. They're coming back. Halle Berry was a great Storm. So
yeah,
that's cool.
I'm very excited, dude.
Deadpool 3 is gonna be so good, dude. It's gonna be Wolverine plays a big part.
Superhero.
He's your favorite superhero?
He's my favorite superhero.
See, I don't know, man. He's not the best for me. He's not the best. I don't know. The character development's not good.
That's their.
No, I love Deadpool, man. Deadpool 2 was a little bit of a downslope, but It's
God,
okay. It's all right.
because
Deadpool 3
Deadpool
is gonna be
1
good.
is like a gem,
Oh
bro.
my dude, one of the best written superhero movies of
Superhero
all time.
movies. I'm glad you said it because I would have too.
Yeah,
I
so
would have
good.
argued with whoever. It really is, man. It's just different.
Straight from the opening scene to the ending, it's just
It's one of my favorite scenes, accounting the bullets.
yeah, yeah, yeah. It's a good one,
Love
dude.
that.
So good. Sets the tone for sure. Way better than that weird Deadpool we got. That remember? Yeah, yeah. Anyway,
Oh, in the X-Men, yeah.
yeah, so weird. Mason Thames and Nico Parker to star as Hiccup and Astrid and How to Train Your Dragon live action. I remember when we talked about this on our acting news when they announced that there was going to be a How to Train Your Dragon live action. And How to Train Your Dragon live action, that's fun to say. And we were like, oh, that's cool. Who are they going to cast? Well, here you go, these two people. Mason Thames, don't know much about him, or Nico Parker, don't know much about her. So, we'll see. I
We'll
like
see.
I like
Let's see
that
what
I like
happens.
that they're getting unknown people though. I like that a lot actually. I think
Yeah.
that's smart. It's not freaking
How do you? Because
Mark
my one
Wahlberg.
friend. How do you feel about this movie? My one friend, he said we don't need it.
Oh, we don't need it at all. I don't want to see it. I know you're a fan of the movies, right? I think I remember you said no.
I think I've seen one of them.
Oh, so that's somebody else then. I don't know. I
I've seen
Who do I
one.
know that loves it? Somebody I know loves the movies, and they're like, "I'm so hyped for this," and I was like, "Bro, they're gonna
Might have
ruin
been
it."
Sean because I think Sean. I don't know if that's who
No,
you would
that wasn't
like as well.
Sean. I don't know
Sean
who it
B, I'm pretty
was.
sure likes him.
Yeah, I was never the biggest fan of them, to be honest. I thought they were okay.
Yeah, like
So
that's my thing. I never. I like I said. That's perfectly said. To be honest, I thought it was okay.
yeah, nothing that jumped out at me personally.
Mm-mm.
So yeah, not really all that. And we'll see how it goes. I'm excited. Should be interesting. Now because it is Viking stuff, so that's gonna be dope. It's like a Viking dragon, so that'll be interesting to see on screen. The Good Half starring Nick Jonas, David Arquette, Brittany Snow.
Oh,
Premiered at the Tribeca Film Festival, so that's cool.
hey, what about the dark room?
Oh, what do you mean? What do you mean by that? Yeah, no,
Premiering.
I don't really know anything about The Good Half. I just seen it was Nick Jonas and David Arquette. I might watch it
Yeah.
just for David Arquette, bro.
Yeah, let me see.
Just to be with the homie. Did you see anything on it? It just said it premiered.
I just saw that it premiered.
Yeah.
And some people I knew were pretty excited about it. Couldn't see it.
Not me.
Not
Black
me, bro.
Mirror. No, it might be cool. Black Mirror is coming back finally. I haven't seen any of the. Yeah, I haven't seen any of the. I haven't seen an episode of you.
Bro, Black Mirror is awesome. One of my favorite shows ever.
It's an anthology, isn't it?
Yeah, every episode's completely different. Has no correlating story. But like that's what I like about it. Like I don't know, that's what's fascinating. It's a new story every time.
Are you into the American Horror Story thing then?
I've never really watched it.
I never could get into that one either, bro. Maybe it's an anthology thing for me. Go watch Creepshow. No, but like I can't really get into that one either. It was too weird for me. And I'm a horror guy.
Creepshow, like who are you?
What are you doing, bro? Go watch it now,
Like,
dude.
just get off the freaking pod and go do it.
That's what I'm saying. But yeah, so you haven't seen really much of that one?
No, I've actually seen Black Mirror a lot more than I have seen American Horror.
Well, I'm gonna watch it just for Salma Hayek. So,
dude, you should. It's such a good show.
Yep. And then Aaron Paul, Josh Hartnett. Dude, Josh Hartnett he looked totally different. You see that little picture of him?
No.
So
it was the four faces, right?
Yeah, dude, you don't even recognize him. He's the dude with the big beard and stuff, bro. It tripped me out.
Really?
Like that's Josh Hartnett, man. He was killing it back in the early 2000s and late 90s, and dude, he just kind of appeared again, looking like he's homeless.
A beast.
Yeah, crazy. Terrifier 3 on the way. I still haven't seen the second one, so I need to watch it.
I don't think I've seen the second one either.
You still haven't seen it? And you love the first one.
No, I did see the second one.
You did. I remember you. Yeah, you definitely did. Did you watch?
Like,
you watched the second one first, didn't you? No. I'll shut
Maybe.
up. I don't know.
I don't know. I think you might actually be right.
No, I don't. I remember you saying something
I don't
like
know my
that,
own
but
life.
no, man.
But I did definitely.
Yeah, so the third one, I don't know, man. The first one was cool. I liked it. It's like a fun. What's funny is, dude, I went into the first Terrifier movie thinking it was like a straight up horror. That was like a serious movie.
Mm,
And then when I started seeing him ride around on the little bicycle and I don't know, it threw me off. I was like, what am I watching, dude? It is the
mm.
one of the weirdest horror movies you'll watch. It's so trippy and one of the most
No, for
gory too.
sure. Yeah, and it had such a short budget too, man. It was
Yeah.
like
And they're getting a big is it a big budget for Terrifier 3?
big budget. Dude, I texted him one day. I was like, cast me in your film.
Bring me in,
Please
man.
cast me in your
Just
film.
if you cut me in half, just rip off my nose.
Put me as a bystander walking around
Yeah,
to get
do something.
shot.
Do something.
Yeah.
Um, Dead by Daylight film coming. I think we might have talked about this before, but they kind of talk
Yeah.
more about it. They're gonna do like a comic book. They're doing, like you said, the game that's gonna be in cahoots with the people from Dead by Daylight, but the Quarry
Blumhouse, baby.
and all
Oh
them.
yeah,
and
and that crossover that's
yeah,
gonna happen.
yeah.
So
So there's a lot going on with him, and I want to play by Dead by Daylight actually, bro. I've been wanting to get back to that.
we need to.
I kind of miss it. It's so much fun. Brayden hates it, makes him rage, but it's fun.
It's the only ever game that's ever got me banned.
Brayden, bless you. Brayden rages, man. Brayden
rage
rages
too
when
hard.
it comes to Dead by Daylight, man. Sony developing a live action. Okay, we already talked about that. The Office is getting rebooted with a female lead. Why are we touching that gem of a show? I don't know. That is
Unless you're
so
bringing back
stupid.
the other characters, it's so stupid.
I guarantee a lot of them would come back. Maybe not John Krasinski, maybe not Jenna Fisher, but I feel like most of them would. Definitely not Steve Carell. But I feel like a lot of them would come back. So,
Yeah.
yeah, I might watch it. We'll see.
We'll
I'm
see.
assuming it'll be on Peacock. I have Peacock, so I'll watch it.
Peacock.
We'll see. We'll see how it goes. This is what blew my mind. It's not really acting news, it's just something they just talked about. Grown Ups was originally what am I even saying? Grown Ups was originally set to release in the 90s, but after Chris Farley passed away, who was supposed to be playing Eric Lavensaul instead of Kevin James, when he passed away, Adam Sandler delayed it. And it got delayed till 2010. And as you guys know, Grown Ups is my favorite movie of all time. It's the movie that I've seen over 100 times. Not even joking when I say that. I can pretty much say every single line in that movie. I don't know if it would have been the same, man. Like Adam Sandler in his prime making Grown Ups would have been really trippy, because like he would have been like a college kid, instead of it being like a grown adult, you know?
Real grown-ups, yeah.
Yeah, he just would have been the sorority guys from the second one.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, those yeah, man. The Tyler or Taylor, what's his name? The guy that yeah.
Grown-ups,
Yeah, he was pretty funny in that one, dude. But yeah, and then one more. This one is something that Brayden just sent to me, I believe today, and I love it. I'm gonna butcher this. Hayao Miyazaki's final film, How Do You Live, will be released with no trailer or no marketing because he wants to leave the film up to. He wants people to walk in with no preconceptions or no expectations. He just wants you to walk in blindly and just enjoy the film. I love that to death. You guys know how I feel about that. I love very simplistic trailers. I don't even like teasers nowadays. I'm gonna see just for that reason. I don't love a poster that has everything on it. This guy knows what's up, and I love him for that. I'm hyped. I want to watch it, and I'm not even a big anime guy, but I want to watch it.
Yeah, because I just want to see what that's like, man. Every freaking movie I've seen, I've always seen a poster, a trailer, pictures.
Right. And also, he's someone who is very like he's very well respected in the anime community when it comes to story. He knows how to build a really good story, and there's those. I mean, a lot of people that really like movies and stuff, man. These big movie fans, they love a lot of these anime films, Japanese animated films that are created over there, and they just like the story. It's very rich and new. And that's kind of like the Korean shows, bro. You know what I mean? The of course, Squid Game. And then, there's another one. There's like little demon dogs that would come down every time someone would die.
Dogs.
I know you haven't seen it. I watched that show in one night, which is crazy. Wow. I haven't. It was only like 6 episodes, but I was sitting there with Cody, And we just sat there and we just watched. He's like, "You want to watch it all in one night?" I'm like, "No." So we did. But yeah, that's gonna be it for all the acting news, man. That's it. That's all we got.
Are you serious?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Box office. Box office. We should have talked about this earlier.
Box office.
Because I have Across the Spider-Verse in here. But Across the Spider-Verse, man, has a $100 million budget. I expected a little bit more. Domestically, right? This is only opening weekend, by the way. Domestically made $120.5 million, and then worldwide made $208 million. It's already made its money back, and more. Even if it's $20 million into budgeting,
we're rich.
They're hype. They're really hype right now.
We're rich.
100%. The Boogeyman. The Boogeyman. I think of the wrestler. Remember him?
I'm the Boogeyman.
Yeah.
I'm coming to get you.
$30 million, bro, and the box office is kind of upsetting.
All right, what is it, like 20-something million?
Yeah, it's not too upsetting. They'll make their money back. Domestically made 12.3 and worldwide 19.8. So hopefully, and it sucks though because it would have done so much better if they just released it this week. You know what I mean? There's nothing coming out this week that's super interesting, bro. Why not release it now? You had to go up against probably the biggest movie this year.
Yeah.
Fast X might be pushing that a little bit. Maybe Oppenheimer might be pushing it. Maybe Barbie. I'll shut up so it's not the biggest movie this year. But, one of the biggest movies this year. And you decide to release it the same weekend. Yeah, for sure. So why would you do that? I don't know. Makes no sense. I think it's going to make a lot of money this next weekend, though, because we're going to go see it, too.
Oh, yeah, we are.
So I'm really happy. People are saying it's really good. And then the last time we're going to mention this movie, thank God, Fast X, $340 million on the budget. That's a crazy budget, dude. $340 million, bro. What? Domestically made $128.8 million, and worldwide made $476 million. An opening weekend made $320 worldwide. So they're doing good. They made their money back, and they're going to make a lot more. I can't believe that $340 million for a budget, dude.
I'm so glad. I hope they're over after these last two. Please be done.
Please. I hope so, dude. I hope so. And no, remember they just announced, you sent the thing to me, they're doing the female spinoff. Remember? The female centered Fast X spinoff? No? Hold up. You sent it to me. I'm going to look it up now. And I didn't write this down because it hurt my eyes, but let me see if I find it. Also, why did Instagram change their stories? Like, to see how big the icons are? Yeah, it's kind of tripping me out. All right, hold on. Let me, it's right here. You sent it to me today. Maybe you didn't send it to me today.
Hey, man. I don't not believe you. It didn't happen, though.
Yeah, a woman-led Fast spinoff. So, there you go. They're going to be doing a female-led Fast spinoff. So we got 2 more movies, and then we got even more.
Yeah.
Oh, we have to talk about that, Brayden.
Yeah, no, we don't.
All right. That's it, baby. Yo, I'm so hyped for this segment, dude. Oh, does Brayden have some food? He has some water. Oh, take some food. Take some food, bro.
Couldn't break it up.
Yeah, no, I feel that.
Please.
I feel that.
I
feel that.
We're
going to be ranking our Spider-Man movies. And before we dive into this, man, I just want to say we're going to make a lot of you guys really mad. And just know this is our ranking. This is our view. I don't know about Brayden, but I at least base this off of entertainment value. This is not how much I'm like, oh, this is the best made Spider-Man movie. This is just based off pure entertainment. Mixed with a little bit of, if it's obviously poorly made, that goes into the entertainment value. So
I got you, baby.
Yeah.
Yo, I'm not failing you, Logan. You're
Thank you, man.
With my list, baby.
Yes, baby. I'm curious to see how you said yours is very controversial. I think mine's a little controversial, but it's not bad.
Let's get into it, man. I honestly, because I really want to hear your number 10.
Yeah. Oh, what do you think it's gonna be? Mine's pretty obvious. It's a very common number 10.
Is it?
Yes.
We might have the same number 10. That's why I'm wondering.
Is yours very common as well?
I would say so.
Okay. My number 10 is going to be The Amazing Spider-Man 2.
Absolutely.
Okay. No. All right. There we go. Now, I'm going to start off by saying this. This movie's not as bad as people say. Some
Absolutely.
people say it's so unbearable. No, it's not. It's a dude. Every Spider-Man movie is so much fun to watch, and this movie had so much potential.
Can I tell you something?
Tell me, baby.
I've never had a movie make me feel like this when I saw Gwen Stacy die and leaving the theater. I resonated and sat on it for 3 days. It took me a full 3 days to stop Joe. Like I went with Joe, and for 3 days, bro, he was like, "Dude, give up. It's done. She's dead." Bro, I'm going into the comics finding out that Gwen Stacy was revived and she was going to come
Yeah,
back in the third movie.
yeah. I
Never
think
happened.
I think she was going to though. I think that's actually where they were going to go with it. By the way, because there was
Really?
going to be the third movie, and I remember them mentioning something about that. But maybe not. Maybe I'm just saying stuff. But
Hey.
I'm giving you hope, man.
Ah.
But no, that death.
I actually pretty liked the movie.
Yeah, yeah, and
It's
that
just when you look at all the other ones.
they're just too. Yeah, there's way better.
Yeah.
Yeah, Gwen Stacy's death, seeing Emma Stone die, it's like, Emma Stone, bro, Emma Stone.
BB.
Yeah, no,
BB
that, and just the sound, the poof, you hear like that little like squish sound when she hits,
Yeah.
and it's like, oh, dude. I remember seeing that for the first time too, man, and just I didn't see it in theater, but I remember watching it for the first
Wow, I
time
did.
and being like, whoa, like
Yeah.
it was just me and some
You
of
didn't
my
expect
friends.
it from that movie.
And I can only imagine the environment in the theater. Everybody was probably like, "What the hell?"
Yeah.
If there was
It
anybody
all
still
like,
in there.
just you hear
Yeah,
that and it was just like
yeah. You got Hans Zimmer's score over it. Yeah, and that's what I love about this film. By the way, there's actually a lot I really like about it. I guess we could talk about the stuff that we don't like since we're kind of on that side of things. Um, it's gonna be a long list. I didn't mind Electro too much. I thought the blue was actually really cool. I know in the comics he's yellow, or
Yeah.
he has like the yellow stuff, and he looks way different. He actually made his entire body blue and stuff. I liked
Yeah.
it though. I thought it worked really well. Jamie Foxx is a great actor. This is not his best performance. I thought the writing for it wasn't the best.
It's terrible.
His
Yeah.
dialogue was not there.
It's not
His little
it wasn't
one-liners.
him that was wrong with Electro. It was
No,
just how they wrote Electro, you know.
there's nothing wrong with Jamie Foxx.
Yeah.
Dude's
I even agree with the blue
so
thing.
talented.
It's just like how they
Yeah,
wrote his character. Like it's fucking
very
weird.
cringy,
Yeah,
and it
man.
was just it was
He's
very
not
hard
a
to
cringy
watch.
guy.
No,
And like they could have made him nerdy, but like they made him like a weird nerd. You know what I mean? I don't know.
yeah, it didn't work well. It didn't
No.
work well, and I think just the tone of the movie in general just was very. It didn't take itself seriously. It didn't take
Yeah.
itself seriously at all. I thought the first Amazing Spider-Man, which we'll get to in a little bit, was really well balanced between seriousness and then kind of like comedy, you
Yeah.
know. And we'll get into that in a little bit because I have a lot to say. But this movie just really leaned into the comedy way too much when there's a serious storyline with Gwen Stacy's dad, you know what I mean, and stuff like that. And there's so much potential there, and then they just get away from it. And they even the deleted scene at the end. Remember the credit
His
scene?
dad
And
comes back.
yes. You had so much potential to really play this more of a serious tone, and you just didn't do it because the first. I don't know why they didn't do it, dude. It made no sense. Maybe because people like the more comedic element of the first
They
Amazing
thought it was-
Spider-Man.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. Probably.
It was weird.
A lot of people I know thought it was too dark. You know what I mean? Like the first one.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I liked it.
Like compared to Tobey Maguire, who's like a freaking nerd, going to like
Yeah.
some bad boy skater. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Not
you're right.
dark, just like bad boy Spider-Man.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Maybe they
Mhm.
tried to make him seem more like a, not like a dork, but you know,
Yeah.
ah,
I feel you. Yeah.
I'm the fun guy,
Yeah. No, I feel
not
that.
the cool guy.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It was just the tone just fell off to me. And then
No, I definitely agree with you.
another thing, I didn't mind the Green Goblin. I like it. Don't get me wrong, he wasn't the greatest, and wouldn't be the choice that I would have made. But I thought Dan, I believe his name is. I thought he did a good job, and I didn't mind it.
I'm right there. I mean, I probably liked it a little less, but like it's just it was there.
Yeah,
I probably liked Electro a bit more, but you know, he didn't do a bad performance. I just don't like how they set his character up the whole time, and like how James Franco's character was put into it, or like even his dad,
yeah.
like William Dafoe's. They both, I feel like, at least it gatewayed so much better than his.
100%. No,
But his didn't. But his doesn't wasn't bad, you know.
Yeah.
It just didn't gateway the right way.
No, this one's don't even compare it to those two.
what's
It's
so
not even the
funny?
same arena.
You talk about the potential, and it's like when I think about this, like this could have been a potentially like top 3 Spider-Man movie if it was done the right way. Probably, man. Probably.
The best,
Maybe.
the best web slinging, some of the best visuals, one of the best suits. I love the suit. It's one of the best casts if you think about it. The cast is incredible. You have Hans Zimmer on the score. Even though I'm not a big fan of like the Spider-Man theme, I thought it fit that the Spider-Man very well.
Spider-Man.
But like if I was,
Spider-Man.
yeah, but if I was gonna rank all the Spider-Man themes, this would probably be on the lower end. A lot of people really like the Spider-Man theme, but that Hans Zimmer did, but it just wasn't my the
Cup of tea.
yeah, it wasn't really my go-to.
Yeah.
I would pick most of the others over it, but no, just the potential is there, man. Really good people surrounding it.
Yeah, but I have to say I pretty much agree with you. I don't think it's as bad as people think it is.
No.
Just the other good. I feel like a lot of the other ones are just better. That's all I'll say.
Yeah, I'm with you. Is there anything else we want to talk about that? No.
Yeah, I think so.
Number 9. Brayden, I'll let you go.
You want me to go?
You go.
I don't know. Controversy. Okay, and I'm gonna say why this is my number 9. It's Spider-Man: Homecoming.
Oh my God! What are you doing? What are you? Come on.
Why Spider-Man: Homecoming is at my number 9 is because I don't think I've seen it.
What?
Yeah, I don't think I've seen it. Seen like the top 10 Watch Mojo, or not Watch Mojo, like Fandango clips. Never seen the full thing. I've seen both of the other ones. Never seen the full thing through.
You need to watch it.
So it felt wrong of me to try and like I could not put. I was gonna switch with Far From Home, but like I don't know what I would talk about with you. Like I love Michael Keaton as Vulture. Like his scenes were amazing. I love the prom scene. I think it's a really cool aspect, and like Zendaya's dad's like kind of like a stickler.
Yeah,
but like
man.
that's really all I remember. Like I've never really seen much more of it.
There's
but because from what I've heard,
so
Homecoming's better than Far From Home. But I just personally, for me, you get me. I can't.
No, I've been in that same position before. No, I had no idea, dude. That's wild.
So truly, like, would it probably be at my number 9? No, but like I just haven't seen it, so it wouldn't be fair of me.
No,
but from what I've seen, I know I would like it better than Amazing Spider-Man 2.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that one's pretty high up on my list.
Yeah.
My number 9 is gonna piss a lot of people off.
Oh,
This
God,
is so this is my most controversial out of my entire list, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
You might not like. I think you know it, but I'm gonna go into the Spider-Verse for my number 9. I just once again,
it's not a bad pick.
Yeah,
that's all I'll say.
I'm someone who I prefer when I watch a Spider-Man movie. I watch Spider-Man to see a live-action version of Spider-Man. I just do. For the main reason of I can connect with the character more. Don't get me wrong. The animation in this movie is incredible. I'm
going to say this.
Yeah,
my number 8 is Into the Spider-Verse. So I'll jump in with this.
That
would be my next one. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I'll go next. So yeah.
Yeah, dive with
That's
me.
why I said it's not a bad pick. I have it.
Yeah.
It probably would be number 9 if I'd watched Homecoming.
No, I feel you. It's so well done, dude. I mean, it's an incredible film. The visuals. It's one of the best made Spider-Man movies. The soundtrack.
Even the cast.
The cast, bro. It's incredible.
But you know, this is why I like you, because like I have all my friends who are like, the Spider-Man movie, it was the best animation movie ever. And I've never had the one guy that just sit there with me and be like, it was just a good movie.
Yeah.
It was a good movie. I'm not shitting on it, but it's nothing like
also it's not our
craze about.
Yeah, it's not our style of animation either. We're into the more like crisp stuff like Moana, Pixar. Zootopia, Sing. This was more of a comic book feel, and I'm not saying it's bad. It fit it very well. I'm just saying it's not my cup of tea. Yeah. It's not what I'm going to look at for 2.5 hours. You know what I mean? And maybe I can look at it. Maybe like the Amazing Spider-Man TV show. I grew up watching that one, like the little animated one. Those were like 20-minute episodes, and you could sit there and watch them. It's 2 hours and 30 minutes of watching it, and it's kind of like, 2 hours of watching. It's like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think that's what it is. It's too much for me.
I agree. And when I never really wanted to watch it. And when I did, I really did enjoy the film, but it was never like, maybe it's the type of thing like people overhyped it for me. Like I watched it and I just was like, it was supposed to be the best movie ever in my, from everyone else's I heard in my friend group, and it just wasn't. You know what I mean? So I was just always kind of like, man. Yeah. It's not a bad movie by any means. Like I can't.
You're just trying to be different, bro. You're just trying to be different, man.
You're looking different, bro. To be honest with you, I can't even think of a negative from the movie. It's very much like the second one. Like it's probably something small. You know what I mean?
It's
Like,
it's yeah, it's all
I
about
don't like how Peter
perspective.
Parker's almost died, or he's not the main
Yeah,
character. I thought, you know what I mean? Some
yeah,
stupid shit like that. But it was a good movie. It's just
yeah,
not my cup of tea either.
yeah. It was basically everything we talked about into the about like across the Spider Verse. Just across Spider Verse did everything better.
Yes, 100%. It is very much like Star
Yeah,
Wars Jedi. I mean, like,
yeah,
I don't know if I would say this. Well, at least maybe I will take the story away, but the game mechanics and how everything feels is just better. You know
yeah.
what I mean?
Mm,
Yeah.
100%.
So I'm in total agreement.
Um, my next one is Far From Home. This is a Spider-Man movie that is not a Spider-Man movie. It's just not. I like. Don't get me wrong. This was very hard. I was back and forth between Into the Spider-Verse and Far From Home. I was gonna flip it. I really was, but there's some really good moments in Far From Home, like Jake Gyllenhaal.
So, can we talk?
Yes.
It's my number 7. Dude, this is fucking weird.
What is going on? This is great. That's what I thought too. I was like, wait, he's doing something.
See me,
What is
I'm
he
like
looking
looking
at?
down, I'm like,
Yeah, wait a second. Hold up, hold up.
no
Yeah,
way.
yeah. That's yeah. So let's talk about it together again. Might as well do it.
Because you know what's funny? I had Homecoming and or I had Far From Home and Homecoming like next to each other at one point before I was switching it around. I was like, I had Homecoming at number 6 or number 7, and I was like, I haven't seen it. I don't know what I'll fucking say. You know what
Yeah,
I mean? So
yeah.
I switched it.
Dude, we're like right on with each other. This is a lot.
I
This
know
is
this is
weird.
weird. This is actually really
Now
weird, dude.
we're gonna get very different though up here. I think this is where we're really gonna start
You
changing it
think
up.
so?
Oh, 100%. Like just
All
take
right.
it in right now because we're about to get a little angry up in here.
All
We need
right.
some Red Bulls, baby.
Yeah, this is your number 8, my number 7, right? Yes.
Yes. So yeah, Far From Home. It's just not a Spider-Man movie. It's not. It doesn't take place in Queens, and I'm not saying it has to take place in New York, but it just at least keeps the vibe there. It's not the friendly neighborhood Spider-Man anymore. He's trying to be Iron Man.
Mm.
The suits they built it up to be this cool thing. It's kind of underwhelming. Um, yeah, it's just and don't get me, I like the black suit, not the all black suit, not the stealth one, but the one with like the black like under thing where like the blue is. That's pretty
Yes.
cool. I like the blue and red one a lot better because I'm more of like a traditional kind of guy,
I
but
am
I
too,
do
dude. When
like
I
it.
played the game, I always played like Tobey Maguire's skin when I could,
Same
bro. I
here,
don't know
same
why.
here.
Like,
I do the same
or
thing.
Andrews.
Yep, I do the same exact thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
They look better than all the cool weird ones in my opinion because it's
Yeah,
nostalgic,
100%.
you
Or
know.
like, I even like the one with the flame on his head, but it just was like, dude, that's like fucking Ghost Rider swinging
Yeah,
around.
yeah, yeah. No, I feel that. But yeah, no, and I'm trying to think of one more thing for I'll let you go on your rant.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I said, just it didn't feel like a Spider-Man movie, and I do like the dynamic between Zendaya and Spider-Man. I really like I said, Jake Gyllenhaal's Mysterio, one of the best villains we've ever seen, Spider-Man villains. I would maybe top 6, top 7, maybe top 8. I really enjoyed him. I thought he did a really, really good job in this. I thought he was the only good part about this film. And the fight scenes are really cool. I like the action sequences, but other than that,
The thing is, I totally agree. It's in the sense of I feel like this movie doesn't have a lot of negatives. I feel like the fact that it's set in London is just kind of weird. Like like you said, it's not Spider-Man, and I feel like because like you said, I very much agree with what you said actually. Um, Jake Gyllenhaal and Tom Holland have this really good chemistry, and I even really like how they brought Nick Fury involved, and you know how he was like, "Dude, you need to get here. You need to get here." You know what I mean? They finally all meet up, and he's introduced as this like celestial god, basically, like Jake Gyllenhaal, Mysterio.
yep,
He can travel the worlds, and he's so good. He's the answer to all our problems. And then you find out that he's just a nut. You know what I mean? And he's
sure,
freaking here to destroy the world and all that. And I love that. It was our first time I really felt like we saw Spider-Man, Tom Holland Spider-Man, like vulnerable like that, in a position where he overcame that high school child in him died in that movie. You know what I mean? Where he's at the end, he's bleeding, and where he was invisible and he's got him like at the neck. Like that's where Spider-Man clicked, I feel like. And he yeah, that was like the first shift for him, emotional
hmm
shift.
sure,
Um, and then with the setup at the end, I think it's one of the coolest like things at the end. And then his face pops up over, and you're like sitting, you're like, no,
yeah, yeah.
Peter!
No, that was a
Like
really
that's
solid ending.
But besides that, I agree with you, man. Like, it is a bit underwhelming. And even from the clips I've seen in Homecoming, I really like how, in a way, Vulture seems a little more present than Mysterio does. You know what I mean? Whereas Mysterio, I feel like, relies on a lot of elemental things around him, regardless if it's like robotics or whatever it is. Vulture just felt present, and especially with being, the dad and like all that, it
Yeah.
just felt more present.
Very
Is the best way I can
grounded,
say
a
it.
way more
Yes.
grounded villain. Like you said, felt like a good superhero and supervillain dynamic. You don't feel
Yes.
that as much with the Mysterio thing, because,
Because we got to
like
see
you
them
said,
as
he's not who he
people
truly
and
is.
villains.
Right, right,
Maybe I
right.
could have put this higher. I know some stuff about it.
Yeah,
Fandango
no,
did me right.
no, that's true. But you're right though. You definitely need to watch it
Yeah.
though. Definitely check it
Yeah.
out. And yeah, that's pretty much all I got to say though for Far From Home. It's just not a Spider-Man movie. People love this movie. People put it way up. It's just not my favorite,
Yeah,
personally.
I totally get that.
Yeah.
I totally get that.
Um. So was this? This is my seventh one.
This would be, yeah, because that was my seventh.
Is The Amazing Spider-Man.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah. This is. I know you like these movies a little bit more. I
Mhm.
like The Amazing Spider-Man. I think this is a
Yeah.
really good film. I think it's awesome. I think the suit is one of the coolest suits. I think it's really mysterious. That's what I love about this movie. It's so dark, bro, and it gets me hyped. But at the same
Yeah.
time, and this is what The Amazing Spider-Man 2 couldn't do. And I need to watch this movie again, dude, because it gets me so hyped talking about it. Is they balance the darkness of reality and the darkness of the city of New York and Queens
Yeah.
and the vigilante aspect of Peter Parker and
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man,
Yeah.
but he balances the comedy so well, and that's what's missing from the Tobey Maguire movies.
Ooh, we
You know what I
got you there.
mean? Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And even in the car, like in the scene in the car when they close the door and you just see his eyes, kind of glimmering in the back seat, and
He's
he's just
just
talking to
chilling.
him.
He's
Yeah,
just
dude,
sitting
it's
there.
it's so good, man.
Hey
And the
guys.
suit, bro, the suit's so dope. It is
Yeah.
so dope. I'm not the biggest fan of the eyes, but the big the Spider-Man that goes all the way down, the big spider on his chest looks
Yeah.
so clean,
Yeah. He's
so
got one of the
good.
best suits.
And the colors just pop
Maybe the
out more at
best. I
you.
don't
You know what
know.
I mean? It's definitely one of the best. I'm more of a Tobey Maguire
Toby
guy,
guy.
but yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
Toby's
Come
got that
on.
name.
But it's still really well done, and I love how the colors almost look like they're wet. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
Like
blending.
popping, yeah, like they're popping out
Yeah.
at you. And I
Yes.
really like that aspect
His
to it.
blue is really blue.
Yeah, and also I think
His
it
red
has
is
one
really
of the
red.
oh yeah, my favorite part, baby. And you see like the spider webs that are along the suit really well because they kind of shine
Yes.
really
Yeah.
well. I think it's like a black material that looks really good. It's not the white, which is really interesting, and I really enjoyed that. And I think it has one of the best, like I said, the swinging, all that's really cool. One of the best suit reveals when he's at the
Yeah.
POV and then he lands on the building like this, and you see him looking at his reflection. So
So
clean,
cool.
dude. It is such a unique idea, and it
Yeah,
just fits so
man.
well. The
Is that the one
sounds
where
of
he
the web
slingshots
shooters.
from the crane at the end? Is that the one or is that the second? I think that's the first one.
I think it is the first one.
Because the second one he fights Rhino at the end. Yeah. You remember
Yeah,
he's like, "Tss, tss," and he like pulls
you're
himself
right.
back and like, dude,
So clean.
hardest thing
So
ever,
clean.
dude.
So
So
clean.
hard.
And then the lizard was a really solid villain. I didn't
Villain.
love him, but I
Oh,
think
dude.
he's a very very good.
He's a top. He probably beats Mysterio for me as a villain.
I'd have to watch it again. They're very neck and neck for me.
It's fair.
He's more like you said, he's more grounded as a villain. I do like that from the
Yeah.
lizard. I do like
Yeah.
that from the lizard. I just like the character of Mysterio. I think he's more interesting
More.
than
He
the lizard.
is.
You know, does that
They
make
shouldn't have
sense?
taken him out, and that's a big problem too. They shouldn't have. I understand, but they shouldn't have taken him out in that one. You know what I mean? He should
Yeah,
have had a lingering presence.
yeah, yeah. I think that's what it is. I like the Mysterio character or villain or character better, but I like how they went about the lizard a little bit more.
No, I
So
totally get that.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I feel that. I feel that. But overall, really like it. Really solid film. I know you're gonna have fun talking about it in a little bit, but yeah, I
Oh
love
yeah.
this movie. I think it's really good. And then what number is your next one? Do I have another one I gotta say, or is it? What are you
No,
on
this
now?
one's my number. Well, I that was my number 7 was Spider-Man: Far From Home.
Now you're under 6.
Yes,
Okay.
my number 6. It is Spider-Man 3.
I expected that. I
By
knew
any
that.
means, is this a bad film? No, I hate people that say this is a bad movie. Like to say it's like a bad movie. It's not a bad movie. There's good moments in this freaking movie, man. I love all the villains being in it. I honestly think this is like one of my favorite performances of Sandman. And I'm really not like a huge Sandman guy, but like back in the day, I used to love Sandman, bro. Like they did him so right.
You
They did
kind of
my boy
had
right,
you kind of look like a Sandman right now, bro. I'm not even gonna lie to you.
dude.
Hold up now.
They did
Hey,
my boy right. They did my boy right, and I
they
loved
definitely
him
did.
when he came back. I
Thomas
honestly
Hill
wish they.
or Thomas Hayden Church, right?
I'm not sure actually.
Thomas
Let
Hayden
me
Church,
know
I
his
think
name.
his name. Let me look him up.
But you know what upsets? Like I love No Way Home. You'll hear about it in a while, but I wish they gave him a little bit more lines, man. He had like a decent part, but he was like angry the whole time. He didn't understand. You know what I mean? I didn't like that. Like,
Yeah,
I think that's yeah. I don't know. I just love how the third movie wrapped so well, and it's crazy to think that they were going to make a Spider-Man 4. Like they had Tobey Maguire in talks with the fourth
and
one.
the Vulture, bro,
Yeah, bro.
and the
And
Chameleon, the
that
guy I
was such a good
want.
one. Such a freaking good movie. Um,
Him,
yeah.
him
I
dealing
mean,
with the grief of losing Harry. Oh my God.
yes, exactly. He
Oh.
lost Harry. Sandman
Yeah.
was gone.
Yep.
I'm trying to think of everything. I really loved his conversion to like the not like the symbiote, but like I guess a symbiote type stuff. You know what I mean? Where yeah. People think that's cringy, but like he has to be completely different. And Tobey Maguire, I guess at that point he wasn't playing like a douche. Peter Parker
Yeah.
still wasn't a douche. He just got that cockiness and you know
Yeah.
what I mean? He's Spider-Man. He probably
Uh,
walking around thinking he's Spider-Man.
I think it's cringy as hell, but I love it for it. I love
It
the
is.
cheesiness of it.
It is because it's
Yeah.
like that's the thing. He's not a cool guy. He's just he's thinks he is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
that's why for me it's like realistic because he's not just gonna change. It's not gonna like, oh, he's a whole new person. Now he walks and talks to you know what I mean? Like he's got a
Yeah.
different mentality of things.
Yeah.
And I thought Eddie Brock wasn't terrible. You know what I mean? I
Yeah.
love the scene with the poles at the end and they were hitting the poles and he's like, oh,
Really good stuff. Yeah.
yeah,
No,
yeah.
the,
But
the third act is really well done.
the third I'm talking about the third act a lot.
Yeah.
That's the most redeeming part of the whole movie.
Hmm.
But it is redeemable enough for me to put it as my number 6 for sure.
I like
Yeah.
that.
I mean, I don't really got much more to say on it. That third act is,
I'll say this: Spider-Man 3 is not next for me, so I can't speak on it too much. But
cool
I
to see Gwen
do.
Stacy for the first time.
That was cool, and I thought the whole dynamic between Peter and MJ was interesting. Even though MJ is probably the most annoying character out of the entire Spider-Man franchise, in my opinion, I can't stand her. I think she's so annoying, but. I thought Venom was really crappy in this movie. That is one thing that kind of bothered me. Could you imagine Tom Hardy's Venom in this movie?
In
This
this
movie would be
yeah.
10 times better. Now, he wouldn't be able to
100%.
take on Sandman, that version of Venom, and, the Neo Goblin or whatever. But it would have still been really cool to see.
Yeah.
So that's one thing I don't like. I actually really hated that they got the guy from that '70s show and was like, hey, here you go.
That's why I was saying Eddie Brock was mid. I
Yeah.
think it's more of Eddie Brock that I didn't like than Venom. And I mean, Venom wasn't great either. Like, you're totally right. Looking at Tom Hardy's Venom now, like, God, with the
It
people they
wasn't
had back
comic
then,
book. Yeah, it wasn't comic book
God, yeah,
Venom.
no, definitely. He's just too much. He felt like a geek too. No offense. You know what I mean? He just seemed more jealous of Peter than like really what Eddie Brock embraces. So, but that's it for me on my number 6.
I feel it. So 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. Oh, mine's 6 now. Is Across the Spider-Verse. Yeah.
Wow. Okay, there you
Yeah.
go.
Everybody's like, oh, I hate you, man. I hate you.
We all hate you.
Yeah, once again, listen, it's pretty much everything. I'm not going to spend too much time on this because I already kind of talked about it, obviously, in the review. And then which, by the way, if you're watching this on YouTube after the fact, go watch watch our review on it. We dive really deep into it.
I wasn't even there.
Come on, man. But yeah, love this film. Think it's great. Think it's one of the best made Spider-Man movies for sure. But this is based off my interests, my entertainment, my perspective, what I enjoy.
Oh yeah.
And because of that, it lands at number 6 for me. It did everything that Into the Spider-Verse did, but better. I will say that. And I think it suffered from a little bit of the 2099 stuff and how they treated him as the villain. That still just pisses me off because there's so much potential there and they just didn't go forward with
What
it. But
it's the
I
type
love
of
it.
thing you say. Watch what happens in the third. I bet
Yeah.
I think your opinion will change because I bet you they're gonna just make him so good in the third one. Like that's all I can think about right now. Because I agree with you. That's like the one big negative that leaves me sitting there. And I just feel like after you said that, you're like, watch what happens when the third one comes out. I've been thinking about it. I'm like, he's totally fucking right.
He probably will
Watch this
sacrifice
third one
himself.
come out.
That's
Yeah,
probably
like
what's gonna happen.
something. And then
Yeah.
if you were to watch it all together, then you'd be like, wow,
Mm-hmm.
what a fucking dope character development.
Mm-hmm.
But right
Mm-hmm.
now he's just dick.
Yeah, but still, what's weird is you're right. He is a dick, but he's like you still
good
care
dick.
for him.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
what kind of movie are we filming?
Yeah, I don't know, man. Definitely not Cross Spider-Verse. But no, yeah, it's definitely a great film. I'm not saying it's not a good movie, but it just once again, I'm more of a live action guy,
I
personally,
totally understand.
and it hurt to put it above the Amazing Spider-Man for me, but I gotta really respect how much fun I had in this theater. And I
Yeah.
I gotta remember that because I almost viewed this movie not as a Spider-Man movie. I almost viewed it as like an animated movie. Does that make sense? And maybe I don't know, man. Maybe that's what it was, and maybe
I have
I
a
don't know.
very similar ranking. That's very funny. Looking down at my thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, that's my number 6.
6. My number 5. This is gonna be a controversial one. Don't hate me. Again, it falls victim to the Homecoming thing. I have seen this movie. It's just when I think of all of these movies, for some reason, I can't think of it as much. I can only literally think of the end. And that is Spider-Man 2. Most people think this is the best Spider-Man movie. This is the big thing, right? The reason, and as you guys have already realized, Spider-Man is going to be higher. The big chopping block for me on this is I love Green Goblin so much. It's probably my favorite Spider-Man villain. It's him or Venom, but like, dude, I love Green Goblin. I think William Dafoe did perfect. I'm gonna get to that later, but with the Amazing Spider-Man 2, Doc Ock arguably, it's hard to argue because of how much I love William Dafoe's performance, but Doc Ock arguably had the best villain performance in any of the Spider-Man movies ever. And it's him or Green Goblin for me.
He's one of the best, like,
just
Marvel
entities
villains.
I mean, was just like
he
entities.
Is so good, dude.
Yeah, man.
So good.
And I love the dynamic shift between him and Harry, and then him and MJ, and everything.
Power of the sun in the palm of my hand. So
yeah, dude. I think they did this movie. What I can say about the first two, and what I think people really love about the second one, is he's so, like, it's comic book-esque, baby. You know what I mean? Like, it is just so on the money. The scene at the end, it's like we see Spider-Man fighting the odds to save his girl, and then Doc Ock being consumed by his own creation that would have changed everything. Like, you know what I mean? It's the true essence of a Spider-Man film. And like I said, it falls victim to that Homecoming feel where I just haven't seen it in so long. And it's like, I watched Spider-Man 1 so many times as a kid that it's just more memorable for me.
Sure.
And, but I highly respect the second Spider-Man. I know people say it's the best one. And, yeah, I had to give it high regards, put it up at the number 5. Yeah, man, definitely one of the best Spider-Mans. And like I said, best villain. I think it was one of the best sequels that's ever happened. Not a lot of movies, especially a superhero movie, can make a good sequel. And I feel like that's one of those where it got better. You know what I mean? I think that's why people don't like the third one so much, because it's like, you did so well with that second one, and then what happened with the third? Like, what the hell happened? You know? So, yeah, that's all I'll say, because like I said, it's hard for me to remember too much, but that movie, man, it's a ringer. It's definitely fire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My number 5 is No Way Home. I like No Way Home. I think it's good. I think it's a good movie. It's the best movie of all time. No, it's not. People overhype this movie just like they overhype everything because of recency bias. People have now over time said, like, finally were like, oh, okay, it's not that great now that we've taken a step back and looked at it. And I had a little bit of recency bias when I first saw it, but I never would have put it at number one like everybody else. There's just no way. I think this is a great movie. I think it's awesome. I think it's a big step forward after Far From Home because I cannot stand that movie. I think it was really, really well done. They brought everybody back. It was cool. It felt almost like a big, what do you call it? Like when you like do something for the fans. I get
what you were gonna say. I was gonna say the cash cow type thing.
No,
They're
fan.
Really going for it.
Can't think of it, but no, they just did it for the fans, and it was a big cash grab for sure. It was a good way to kind of bring in the multiverse and everybody wanting a Spider-Man 4 and everybody wanting an Amazing Spider-Man 3. They're like, hey, here's a way we can do that. And it really, really sucks that they couldn't keep it secret because everybody knew Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire were going to be in it as they walked in to the theater. But it was still a really cool time. I had a great time with it. It's hilarious. A very dark movie, and I really enjoyed that. And that's something that I feel like Spider-Man Homecoming was missing, was the darkness to it. And I feel like this movie had a lot of good scenes. One of my favorites is, and I think Aunt May's death was really well done, but I think one of the best aspects to it was the fight scene at the end with Green Goblin. And and it reminded me so much of that Spider-Man 1's fight scene where there's no music. You just hear boom, boom, bah, boom, boom, boom. And it's like, oh my God, dude. Like, people don't realize the absence of music in these types of scenes can just add so much more than music ever could.
It's a make or break, dude.
Yeah, and that's what happens in this scene when they're all sitting on that thing with the Statue of Liberty, and he's just beating the hell out of him, dude, throwing him up, and I was like, oh my God, you felt Tom Holland, and really, I guess not Tom Holland, but you felt Peter Parker growing as a character in that exact moment when he pulls back. Too. And it's just, oh my God, dude. And I know you posted the behind the scenes of that today, that exact fight scene, but it's so well done. I thought it was great, dude.
It's one of my faves, bro. That movie
the acting,
very high up for me.
I mean, William Dafoe's just smiling at him, and he's just, bah, bah, bah. I was like, Jesus, dude. It was dope. And yeah, just I love the darkness to this film. That I'm a big fan of that when it comes to superhero movies. I don't mind a lighthearted film like Deadpool or stuff like that. Those types of movies that need stuff like that. But I love a good dark movie where Spider-Man is going through a lot of real life stuff. That's why we love Spider-Man, because Spider-Man's he's a relatable character. He's not one of these aliens that come down from space. Superman. You know what I mean? It's something new, and it's something that we can all relate to, and I think that's what makes him a great superhero and why we love him. And that's why I love the Tobey Maguire movies so much. They captured the realness of Spider-Man more than anybody. Spider-Man is supposed to be this depressed, lonely guy. That's Spider-Man we all love. It's true. When Spider-Man's depressed, I'm happy, and that's what we finally get at the end of this movie when Tom Holland has to make, or Peter Parker has to make the decision. Number one, he loses his two new best friends he just made. Somebody that some people finally understands him, right? And all the other Spider-Man are thinking the same exact way. But not just that, he has to make the decision of letting Ned and MJ go. And the fact that he loses MJ, he has nobody right now. And that's why I'm so...
Iron Man's gone.
Yes, and that's why, dude, I'm so excited for Spider-Man 4. But the fact that I heard that Miles Morales is most likely going to be in it pisses me off, dude, because I wanted a Spider-Man movie.
Don't take it away. Yeah, don't take it away.
Give him this is the past, dude. The first trilogy, Homecoming, Far From Home, and No Way Home, was literally just the origin story for Spider-Man. That's all it was. Yeah. It was the origin story. He's Spider-Man now. That entire time he was becoming Spider-Man, he is now Spider-Man. He is the Spider-Man that we know from the comic books. And you're going to ruin that with bringing in Miles Morales 10 years earlier than what you need to? If they do something like that, bro, I'm gonna be mad. So I'm really, really, really happy with that aspect to it. I think with him swinging at the end, making his own suit, he's not relying on Tony Stark anymore, which is my biggest problem with the first two movies. He's finally Spider-Man, living in a crappy one-bedroom apartment, struggling to pay his rent. He's gonna be a pizza guy. He's gonna be a photographer. This is what
There
we
we
love to
go, baby.
see.
Yes, sir.
And it's
Yes.
finally here, and I really hope Marvel doesn't ruin
Took
that. And
3
I hope they
movies.
get this production rolling. Really do.
Yeah.
But I
Yeah.
love this movie. The last 20 minutes is some of my favorite sequences in the entire Marvel Cinematic Universe. Love it. So
Yeah.
good.
It's one of my favorite Marvel movies.
So good.
Um, but number 4, it is the awesome and the amazing Spider-Man. It is a great movie. I honestly, a lot of people hate on this movie a lot more than I think it really deserves. I truly at heart think as solely Spider-Man, Andrew Garfield captures it the best. I think when you see him in the suit, you just see the comics fly on the page. You know what I mean? I think, like you said, his swinging, his style, that scene where he's comedic in the suit, like it's Spider-Man. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? He is Spider-Man. Peter Parker aside and the life aside, when you see him in that suit, you don't think Andrew Garfield. You think there's a man, Peter Parker, under that suit. And I was a little thrown off the beginning with the cool skater vibe. You know what I mean? It didn't feel like Peter Parker. And I think that's a big thing that what I love about the second one that I think that is better than the first one, but it's like how we talk about we need that second one to see the first. I love how he's more of a geek in the second one, but it's because like he's gone out of school. He's not like the cast shadow anymore. He's growing into a person that he can feel comfortable and safe around. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
especially being with Emma Stone, Gwen. You know what I mean? But in the first one, I truly and I love. I think can't say it's my favorite Uncle Ben moment, but dude, his Uncle Ben moment is freaking sad, dude. It's hard to watch. And then I love the malicious vibe. Same similar to Toby, but the whole movie feels darker, so that darker moment felt darker. You know what I mean? It felt more like a manhunt. Whereas he hunted down, the guy from what was it, like the paying thing, the wrestling thing,
Yeah.
who he thought from the elevator. But this where he was just chasing people down, checking for the tattoo, like he felt like Terminator. He felt like the hitman. And just as the movie went on, dude, Lizard is one of he's probably actually like top 5 Spider-Man villains I've seen on screen for me. I freaking love it, the performance so well. And that's another reason why when he came back in this No Way Home, I feel like they should have just done a little bit more, man. Like he's such a cool
They did
character.
nothing with his character at all.
Nothing, dude.
Out of all
It's
of them,
like,
he
what
was
the fuck?
Yeah. And that's another one of my biggest cons with No Way Home is there was no reason to bring back some of these guys.
If you're not going
They
to
added
do it,
nothing.
if they're
They
not
added
going to have
nothing
to
to
say a
him.
word,
Yeah.
he just like looked at people the whole time and growled. Like it was just, come on.
Yeah.
But dude, yeah, and I feel like this movie gets a lot of hate when Andrew had. You can't hate the dude for getting put into this situation. None of us asked for a new Spider-Man, but that's what they did. You can't hate him for trying his best at something. And when I look back at it, like that ending shot where and he slings it back and shoots, like, oh, he always felt like the true Spider-Man to me. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and 2 things I wanted to say. Number one, I think that these movies do get a lot of that crap because of people want Toby.
Oh, and the dad.
And
sorry, I love that.
Yes, yeah, the mom and dad storyline added so much. It didn't necessarily work too much for me.
Mm-hmm.
It you kind of went off. It was a little too
Gwen's
much.
Dad.
Oh,
that
yeah,
is also
yeah.
a cool storyline too.
Yes.
It was interesting.
Yeah, it added a little bit more to it. And then I think that the prototype suit before he actually creates a suit is the best prototype suit out of all the other movies. Don't get me wrong, I really like Tom Holland's. I really, really like Tom Holland's. But there's something about just the suit and then just the mask and the glasses over it. It just looks so clean.
Yeah, right. It's like
the little beanie or whatever.
Feels realistic almost. You know what I mean? Like that's probably what one of us. If I was Spider-Man, that's the first thing I'd probably do if I didn't have like a gimmick yet.
Yep.
Where I'm still making my costume, I'd throw some shades on.
It was an old beanie over it. It was clean.
Yeah,
I dig it.
No, and the last thing I'll say is I really love the Gwen Stacy dad being the chief. That was his chief moment. Chief of police losing him, and it was just I love the dynamic of like you're not the one for my daughter, but by the end of it, he was like you were always the one for my daughter. I just couldn't let you know that.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. And it's like
yeah, crazy.
Good movie on number 4, man.
Just a little bit. Number 4, I got Spider-Man 3. I love this movie. It is probably
dude. You want to make like you want to fight people who just don't like this movie?
I don't get it. I get it.
Losers,
I get it. But I love it. This was probably the Spider-Man movie I watched the most growing up because I thought it was so cool that there was like 4 different villains on screen,
Yeah.
and this everything about this movie is so nostalgic. Well, just the Tobey movies in general are nostalgic. I literally watched the trilogy backwards. I watched Spider-Man 3 growing up, crap ton. Kid next door was like, bro, you need to watch Spider-Man 2. I was like, I didn't even know there's another one. Okay, cool, let's watch it. Watch Spider-Man 2. Fell in love with Spider-Man 2. I didn't watch Spider-Man 1 until like 2015. And then I
Wow.
finally started watching it. Which is just 2016, 2015. It was way after. And yeah, I'm it's crazy to think about. We're going to get to the other 2 movies here in a little bit, but I just love this movie because like I said, it's probably the Spider-Man movie I've seen the most. I love a lot of things about it. I think the whole dynamic between all the characters is really well done. The emo Toby is so iconic. This movie in general is really memeable.
It's
Really memeable,
memeable.
bro. So
Yeah.
it's probably one of the most memeable movies of all time.
Yeah.
100%. Um, I thought James Franco. This is what was one of definitely his best performances in this trilogy. I thought it killed it. I thought the whole
Hmm.
thing with him becoming the what is it? It's not. It's like Neo Goblin or whatever. I think it's like Neo Goblin.
The
Was the
Hobgoblin.
Hobgoblin? Yeah, Hobgoblin was so well done, dude. And it was love how he went about that. Thought that was really cool. The chase scenes are really well done.
Yeah,
The
bro.
web swinging gets better and better, obviously, because CGI is getting way better at this time and making huge leaps. I love the black suit.
May I ask, which film is it where he loses his spider powers for a bit? Is that the second?
Spider-Man 2.
Two. Yeah. First.
Spider-Man 2. Which is we'll get to that. We'll get to
I'm
that.
thinking, I just remember, no, because everything you're saying,
Yeah.
and now I'm remembering the chase scene between the alleyways where he's swinging in his
Yeah.
like normal suit and clothes,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's a good one,
Yeah.
dude.
That was
It's
a good
bad
one.
Spider-Man 2. And yeah, this movie is just he's still dealing with the Doc Ock stuff and trying to think about what not trying to touch on stuff that you already talked about. Of course, just the soundtrack is incredible,
Oh yeah,
dude.
man.
The
Wait, I didn't even
Venom
talk about that.
symbiote, yeah, the symbiote soundtrack when he becomes the Black Spider-Man, the Black Spider-Man suit. Oh, dude, it's one of the most iconic soundtracks of all time and
Were you ever
scores.
scared as a kid when that scene was happening? Like when the symbiote was crawling, dude. I don't know why I was like a little pussy. When the symbiote was crawling on him, I was like,
No,
Spider-Man,
the Sandman scene scared
get
me
up.
when he falls into the thing.
Oh yeah, yeah,
That
okay,
terrified me. I was like, oh my god.
yeah.
Um, just because I just remember like being like, oh, dude, he's getting like tore up right now.
Oh, oh yeah, yeah.
Sorry. But yeah, so like that was a really interesting thing for me. What was another scary? Venom was scary. Looking back, he's just like a scrawny kid, but Venom was scary to me growing up. And then, like
Hmm.
I said, that's my biggest con with this movie, dude. It's like Topher Grace, dude. I mean, he's a good actor, but it was not the right Venom. And I don't know
For the
what they were going
performance,
for
yeah.
here. They were going for a nerdy Venom, and if you can go for a nerdy Brock, that's fine. Go for a nerdy Eddie Brock. But if when he changes into Venom, you got to make this dude big. There's not from what I remember. There's not one Venom comic where he's
Especially how
small.
Venom
There's just
is.
not.
There's not.
There's not.
There's not.
So make him big. And that's what I love that
There's
the new
not.
Venom did. By the way, the fact that the new Venom movies aren't rated R is kind of
Stupid.
stupid. I
It's
think you
how
could
they
do
ruined
so much
Deadpool
more.
too.
Yep. Make it
Continue
rated
to
R.
ruin because you want to fucking, I don't know, play to the audience. That's so stupid.
Well, Deadpool 3 is going to be rated R, so
Thank God.
yes, sir.
Thank God.
Um, but yeah, so Venom was crap. Movie overall isn't the best made. Pacing is horrible, but the writing's not great.
Pacing's a little wonky.
Very cheesy. But it holds a special place in my heart. I understand if people listen. Like, there's some movies that like I don't get how people don't like.
Mhm.
I understand why people hate this movie, but I love it. So screw you.
Screw you, losers. My
Let's
number
hear it,
three?
baby. We're top three.
Top three. And I said I was gonna be realistic and honest. And my number three is Across the Spider-Verse. It did it, man. It crossed my top three. Will I go out of my way and say it's the best Spider-Man movie of all time? No. Do I think it's even the best animated movie of all time? I don't know. It's maybe top five, top three, maybe top five. I'll say confidently more for me. Yeah, I mean, we have a whole hour on the other episode. If you want to go back again one more time, you can rewatch it a second time because I already know Logan said it, but go back one more time and watch what I said. Um, yeah, man, the characters are awesome. I enjoyed the animation a lot more than I did the first time. I don't know what it is. I know it's very similar, but I just felt like they introduced it to me better. I love the Spider-Mans. I love the cameos. I love the soundtrack. I just think it's a really good movie. And I agree with Logan. The last 20 minutes is little. It only just pulls you out because you know there's another one. If they shouldn't have just not set it up like that. Two-parters are just hard to have a solid third act in. You know what I mean? And it was just a little, you could tell it's definitely setting up for a second one. Or it just felt, weird.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, great movie, and it's done its work. It's one of my favorites I've seen, so that's all I got to say.
There you go. There you go.
There you go, man.
My number 3 is Spooderman Homecoming.
Boom.
Spider-Man Homecoming, baby. Top 3.
I need to watch it, baby. I need to watch it.
It's crazy because, like, when I watch the movie, I see, like, it reminds me a lot of, like, the Halloween remake. All right? And trust me, these two are correlated. Every time I watch the Halloween remake, I love what I love about it even more, and I hate what I hate about it even more. And I feel like that's what it is when I watch Homecoming. Like, there's so many, and the good thing about that is the good outweighs the bad heavily in this movie. But it's like he relies so much on Tony Stark. He has the most techie suit I've ever seen in my life. He's a little crybaby for half the movie. Flash is like 5'4", 115. Like, stuff like that is what really bothers me.
Spider-Man.
I don't know what we're going for here.
Maybe that's what kind of threw me off from watching it. I heard a lot of stuff like that. Like, it was like completely different and stuff.
Yeah.
In the clips I've seen.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like a dumbed down, I don't say dumbed down, but like a more kid cartoonish. It's an MCU version of Spider-Man. That's what it is. It's an MC, yeah. It's a Disney MCU version of Spider-Man. That's what it is. But there's so many good things.
But they deliver they have so much to offer, you know
Michael
what I mean?
Keaton. One of the coolest plot twists I've ever seen. I saw this in theater. I loved it.
Mm-hmm.
The soundtrack. The suit is awesome. The Washington, D.C. setting when he's climbing up the Washington Monument and doing the backflip. Dude,
I love that. And he saves people in the elevator.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Is that the same scene? Okay.
Yeah, and then, but you know what's funny though is like someone brought this up. It's like, he struggled to hold up an elevator while freaking like Tobey Maguire was stopping a full-on train and you know what I mean? Like, don't get me wrong, he did have the boat. He did have the cruise ship in Homecoming that he holds together. I don't know if you ever seen that clip. But he holds like a boat. A boat gets split in half, and he's just holding the boat. But he caused that problem. He caused the issue. Tobey Maguire didn't cause the problem with the train. So it's like he's just a kid trying to figure everything out. But some really good moments in it. The I am Spider-Man moment where he's under the. I'm sorry, I'm spoiling the whole movie for you. Where he's under the rubble and he's like picks up the rubble. You know what I mean? By himself, and he's like, I am Spider-Man, and does it. Really cool moment.
I don't know if I've seen that clip, but I think I've seen the boat. Because I was like, have you ever done it with a bridge? No, right? I think it was just the boat because he was like he was swinging through and attaching it everywhere.
Yeah, just the boat, Because Tobey Maguire.
I kind of remember.
Didn't Tobey Maguire hold up a Spider-Man 1 or 2 where he holds up the train and then the second one, or not train? Sorry, the little. I don't know. Anyway,
the wall or whatever.
No.
Yeah.
No. We're talking about two different things.
No.
But yeah, no. It's a beautiful film. And like I said, it's weird. Like looking back on it, man. I think of all the negatives, but then I think of all the positives. There's only a couple of movies that I feel this way about, and Homecoming is one of them. It's just it's so weird because there's so many goods, but there's so many bads, and it's like. Spider-Man's not supposed to be this kid that's mentored and given everything to by Iron Man, and it's pretty much an Iron Man movie. I don't know.
You make such a good point. It's a great film, but it just doesn't feel like Spider-Man in a way.
It feels like Spider-Man a lot more than Far From Home. It still feels like Spider-Man.
Yeah.
But it feels like
but preconception of before seeing Far From Home, like taking that with the idea out of the way.
yeah, you thought this didn't feel like Spider-Man. Then you get the second one, you're like, oh,
Yeah.
this one was actually too bad.
Yeah.
You appreciate it a little bit more. So, I love Homecoming to Death. It's such a good movie, and I think it was such a good entry into the Spider-Man
I need to go back and refresh.
franchise. Yeah.
No, I want to. I might do
Click
that.
refresh a few
Yeah.
times. Yes, sir. All right. Let's hear number
All right.
two.
Number two. My number two. I was almost one of those people. It's No Way From Home. Or No Way Home. My bad. Dude, I freaking love this movie. I am one of those people. I don't care. The nostalgia of this movie hitting in the theater, bro. Like
Yo.
it's the Infinity War feel. When I saw like Cap get Mjolnir, it's my favorite, like one of my favorite MC movies, just for that like scene alone.
Mm-hmm.
It's just the iconicness. We all knew they were coming through those portals when they did, but god damn, when I saw their face, it felt too good to see it. There's just something nostalgic about growing up with something like that and just seeing it all come back together one last time when like the odds just don't seem like it would have ever happened. Like being a little kid and seeing Andrew Garfield and hearing he's not getting his third one, it's canceled, and Tom Holland's being announced. Never in my life would I ever thought I would see all three of them in a film. And there's something
I would always tell people, no, it's never going to happen. People are like, oh, it's going to happen. It can happen. I was like, bro, it's not happening, dude.
Right?
Yeah.
And there's something unique and special, and like I'm just such like a fangirl for all of them. You know what I mean? I have such a different taste for all of them. When I saw it, it was like I was the one that Peter like
Yeah.
And I love how they do the villains. I think like Doc Ock brought his Doc Ock-esque back, and I loved how they even tried to make him a good guy because he's at heart, he's one of those good people that had bad things happen to him. He couldn't help the Neuralink kind of like fuck with his brain.
Yep.
And so I love how they're able to like fix these guys and send them home, and that's like the topic of the movie because it's not Spider-Man, but that just it shows it's a new era of Spider-Man. There's all of them can learn something from each other. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And then just that last scene, bro, like you said, man, it felt like watching Toby again versus William Dafoe.
Yeah.
And then Toby being the one to come and save it. The one thing, and I will be straight up honest with it, because I didn't want it to happen, they should have killed him, Toby, when he got stabbed in the back. I don't know. Like I'm happy
it felt
too,
very unnecessary. I agree. They should have just not done it in general.
You're right.
Yeah.
Yes. That's what they should have done best. It should have like maybe like he did it and maybe like Andrew grabs him or he's Spider-Man, so Spider Sense. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Whatever. Let's throw continuity out the window.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Incoming attack. Let's get shanked in the back.
I thought that was ridiculous. It's like they were like, oh bro, let's just scare him real quick. Like nah.
Yeah. And you know what I really love about this film? Last thing I'll say, because it's pretty much the last thing I have to say. I love the redemption of Andrew Garfield. This movie, I feel like, has completely like changed people's idea of Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man. You know what I mean? Like I walked out of the theater, a lot of people were like, he was my favorite. I don't know if I'd go that far to say myself. And I'm not saying that's a bad take. I just, you know what I mean? I loved everybody's performance. But like people were leaving the theater like, dude, he was my favorite. Like I want to. Everyone was chanting Spider-Man. I'm the Amazing Spider-Man 3 over.
Well, they weren't saying that after 2014. That's for sure.
Yeah. Right. So, but yeah, man, I just remember seeing all three of those, watching them put their masks on. You know, the idea that they were. I always hated that they took away the ability from it being in their body, like Toby had it. And when they're like, he was like, yeah, just shoots from inside. They're like, no fucking way. And it's like funny because like they're not the type to gush over other people, but they're like amazed. It's their own power and they don't even have it. Like, he's the Spider-Man.
And you know what's crazy? It's like that, like in the comics, it's web shooters, but I love the idea of it actually being in his arm. Like it's just cooler. Yeah. And I don't know if it's Sam Raimi I don't know who came up with that idea for the 2002 one, but it worked great.
Because like, you know what I always saw, like what is his power? They can just like climb on walls?
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Yeah.
What is it? What the hell is his power then? He's a normal dude, Spidey senses?
Yep.
Come on, the swing.
That's what I'm saying.
But
just swing a little bit, man.
My swing.
No, it's a good one. It's a good one. Good stuff.
What's your number two, man? What's your freaking number?
You can just talk about your number one. I have Spider-Man.
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 It is my number one.
2002. But by the way, we need to get you some merch that says "I freaking love this movie, dude," because you say that every single time, and it's so
I
great.
freaking love
I
this
freaking
movie,
love
dude.
this movie, dude.
Yeah, dude. That would be my merch.
um, but I kind of wish I had like a quote like that. I would say all the time, man. People are asking me to make merch. I don't know what to make. But anyway,
Pause. Pause.
Spider-Man.
Pause with a
Oh,
period.
there you go. Spider-Man 2002, just a great entry. Like I said, this is the last out of the main trilogy that I actually saw, and love it. It's a great introduction, great origin story. It's cheesy, it's dated already, but the suit, the score, the orchestra, bro. Okay, we talked about this. Remember how I said, what movie was it we were talking about? It's like a couple weeks ago. I remember telling you I'm not a big orchestra guy. I don't like usually
Was
like
when we were
the.
talking for the Patreon.
Oh, that's what it was. Yeah, it was the Patreon. Patreon.
Go watch the Patreon with
Go
the
to
movie
Patreon,
review.
baby. Yeah, The Omen. Yeah,
The
and
Omen.
I'm not a big orchestra soundtrack guy with anything. This is incredible. I mean, it has that Spider-Man vibe. Like, dude, I don't know about you. Every time I hear that theme song, it like I float.
I will argue it every day of the week. I don't care. I even said it straight up. I don't think Tobey's the best straight Spider-Man, but it is the perfect Spider-Man movie. Like when I think of it, the score, the characters, everything is taken straight from the fucking comic book and like put on my face. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Pause. Um, I love Tobey Maguire in this role. I think he's awesome. I feel like he looked a little older, but who cares, man? I like that. It's Spider-Man. I love the score. I'm so glad you mentioned the score because like that's one of the best. Seeing somebody swing through the cities for the first time ever. We've never seen that on this capacity before. The dynamic between him and Goblin, you know it's Goblin, but he doesn't know it's Goblin. You're waiting to find out. I love the burning scene where the bombs start going off of the parade and stuff. And then when he has to go save the baby inside and Goblin's there. And then, just like you said, man, that final scene where it's just silence and you hear the fighting. And then he gets a Spidey signal and jumps over and he takes himself out. And that's where Harry hates him ever since. You know what I mean? And it's like truly he wanted the best. Oh,
Yeah. I
man,
feel
I
it.
have, like you said, it's dated, but I have no negatives.
No.
Can't
Yeah. The only big negatives I have with this movie is that it is dated and it's very cheesy, and that's why it's not number one. Because my number one is a movie that is not dated, and it's crazy because it only came out two years later. But I love this movie to death. I think the origin story is probably one of the weakest. Like the whole like him becoming Spider-Man. I feel like Ben dying, Uncle Ben dying, is the best version of that for sure because the face of is so iconic. And then I feel like this Uncle Ben's the coolest Uncle Ben. I don't know why. I always really liked him. He always seemed like so
He
chill.
was the most that made when I ever heard with great power came great responsibility. I always think of
him.
Uncle Ben.
Yeah,
Like he's
same
the
here.
one that said it. Yeah.
Yep. And that Aunt May, dude. That Aunt May is so cool. I love her.
That there's something about they're elders, you know what I
Elderly.
mean? He's grown
Yeah.
up with them. He's not a kid. He's a struggling adult who doesn't have a real job. He's a superhero. Nobody knows it. Like, oh man, I could rant.
Yeah.
I could rant, dude.
Yeah.
Toby's got it, dog. Fuck
No.
you all.
No, it's great. I love it, dude. It's a great film. Like you said, the final act in general is beautiful, dude. The no music at all. You just hear bah, 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 bah.
It's so good.
And then just tell Harry I love him, and then man, some crazy stuff, man. That's wild, but no, it's a really good film. I agree with you, dude. It's one of my favorites of all time. Just very dated. The stuff that takes place at that festival where he's flying through the sky, and then you see James Franco and all them are sitting on like the little patio, and then it starts to fall. It's like stuff like that. Like it's just like it is very, very dated.
Yeah.
And that's the one thing that gets me with this movie. But you can't really fault it for that too much.
But
that's why it's not number one. Number one for me is Spider-Man 2, 2004. By the way, the year I was born, so you gotta love that. Maybe that's why I love it so much.
There you go, baby.
Wait,
hey, man, like I told you,
was
dude,
it
most people say it's the best one. There's something about Goblin, baby.
I'm trying to see when it was released. June 30th, 2004. I was born July 17th. So it was born just a little bit before, or it came out a little bit before I was born.
Almost
That's
like
funny.
2-3 weeks.
Yeah, yeah. So right there, I have a connection with it, man. There's something about me in 2004 movies. I love movies born or that came out in 2004. I guess because I was born that year. Polar Express. Yeah. It was a good year for movies.
Yo,
such Polar a good year. Polar Express. But no, anyway, we're talking about Spider-Man, man. This movie is everything you want in Spider-Man. Depressed on his own, lonely, struggling with jobs, going through this period where he doesn't have his powers, which is funny that they mentioned it in they call it a web blocker or whatever that they talked about in No Way Home. And it's just he doesn't know what to do with his life, and he's so lost. And this movie's so nostalgic. He's balancing paying the rent. He's balancing having this trying to build this relationship with MJ and struggling with it. It's executed so well, dude, and it's one of the coolest villains of all time in Doc Ock, and the pacing is beautiful. The writing is beautiful. This movie holds up better today than Spider-Man 3. Which makes no sense because it came out 3 years before. This movie is everything you want, and I'm surprised it hasn't aged terribly because there's so much CGI in it and so much good stuff in it. But it's executed so well. And just the whole origin story, like you said, of Doc Ock, the whole final fight scene where he, goes into the water. It's so
There's
well done.
There's something about characters like that for me that aren't truly bad at heart. It's like because you have to feel for them because you see in a world where it's like they were so fucked over that's what ended up happening. Like you can just imagine if they were put in better position in better places, like he would have never ended up like that. And it's like, damn, man.
He was just a scientist wanting
so much better.
Yeah, just scientists wanting to make something happen.
Yeah, and then his thing with not Harry, but what's Harry's dad's name? What's his actual name?
Well, William Dafoe, but his character's name is Norman.
Norman, him and Norman's connection, like I love that, man. You know what I mean?
Seeing the like the hallucinations of the dad, and then Harry and Peter's relationship in this movie, which I love so much. Peter being like, "Oh, dude, I don't." Harry's want to kill Spider-Man. You know what I mean? He hates Spider-Man, and Peter's like, dude, this is just so awkward for me. And I love that dynamic. Just overall, man, I mean, seeing Aunt May deal with the death of Uncle Ben, like it's just, there's so many aspects to this movie that make it so realistic and relatable for everybody. And the only thing this movie is missing is a little more humor when it comes to Spider-Man's character. But it's a pretty dark movie, so might have not fit very well. So the bank robbing scene, James Jonah Jameson, it just give it to me.
Dude, we haven't mentioned him once.
Not
dude.
once.
J.K. Simmons is a god.
Yeah, he is.
God for playing.
So
dude,
good.
I'm so glad they brought him back. No Way Home. You could not put anyone else in that spot.
Spider-Man is a menace. Yeah, it's so good.
Spider-Man.
It's so good, dude. I love it. But yeah, overall, I love this film. The soundtrack is incredible. It's come on now, bro. It's so good. Sam Raimi does it again, dude, with some of the best visuals in the game. I love it. So there we go. That's our ranking, baby.
That would be it, baby.
I'm gonna go ahead and read out mine real quick, Brayden. You can read yours. I'm gonna start from my least favorite to favorite. The Amazing Spider-Man 2, Into the Spider-Verse, Far From Home, The Amazing Spider-Man, Across the Spider-Verse, No Way Home, Spider-Man 3, and my top 3 is Homecoming, Spider-Man, and my number 1 is Spider-Man 2.
My number 10, we got The Amazing Spider-Man 2. Then we jumped down to Spider-Man Homecoming. Let me watch it. Maybe I'll re-update it. We have the third installment coming next year, so we'll probably do an update.
A re-ranking, yeah.
So, at number 8, we got Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, then Spider-Man Far From Home, Spider-Man 3, Spider-Man 2, The Amazing Spider-Man in the top 3. We got Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. Number 2, Spider-Man No Way Home. And then number 1, the motherfucking classic, Spider-Man.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir, Ski.
Yes, sir. Good stuff, baby. Good stuff. Yeah, here.
Hey, crew, give yourself a hand.
Yeah.
Give yourself a hand. To the people that make it behind the camera that you don't see right now, everybody.
Yeah.
That are totally
all
there.
Our producers, yeah.
Yes.
Make sure our audio levels are good. Yeah, so there we go. That's going to be it, man. fun episode. Had a really good time. You guys let us know
Hell yeah.
your ranking down below if you're watching on the YouTube channel. Give it a like, comment down below, and subscribe for new content, baby. What's up?
I want to hear your ranking. Please give it to ranking. Were we hot taking it? Were we valid? What's up with it? Let us know.
Let us know, baby.
We're
and
interested.
Everybody on the podcast, I love y'all, man. Y'all are incredible. Thank you so much for watching over 2 hours of this. Every single week, you guys join and
every week.
And we keep growing, which is just all of you guys, man. So thank you so much. Let us know your ranking down below. Let us know what you thought of Across the Spider-Verse. You guys know the Patreon, baby. Go check it out.
Check out Patreon. Check out and stay tuned for the motherfucking Dark Room filming next week. We'll be posting BTS all around on our pages and stuff.
And we're not talking the K-pop group, baby. We're talking some BTS.
Baby.
Let's get it.
Some real deal BTS.
Yes, sir. But no, man, I really do appreciate all the support. And we will see you guys next Monday. We're going to be doing the Boogeyman. And then...
Boogeyman. And I'm coming to get you.
I have no idea. You know what we could do, Brady? We could do like an actual actors talk for like the third segment, like a
like
talking
an
about
type thing.
kind of talking about like I don't know agents or just like random I don't know like telling people how like they can get into it and tips and stuff. I don't know.
I'd be down.
Yeah, so be ready for that. Brayden can throw out some ideas and we'll make it happen.
No, honestly, I was gonna think about like the process of making like a short film.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because we'll probably talk about the Dark Room once we are finished filming and our afterthoughts. But I was thinking like everything that we've had to go into it, like the paperwork and all this casting and stuff. But it's very similar.
And we can talk about the 3 different stages of production: pre-production, production, and post-production. Man. That'll work. Yeah. That'll work great because we can talk about our experiences with all 3.
Guys, you just saw a live moment.
Look at us, bro. Look at us.
This is what we live for.
That's
everybody.
What we do, baby. That's how it works. But no, man, y'all be safe. We will see you guys next Monday, man. Just have a great week. We love
you guys.
Love y'all.